All right, welcome. This is should be episode 4 if we ever put these things online somewhere. Fuck you, YouTube. I'm Dylan.
Yeah, that'll get it put up for sure. It'll stay on.
Hey YouTube, fuck you. Can we put this up now?
All right, so I'm Dylan. With me today, Mike's out today. He had to work because you guys don't give us any money. So with me is
I'm Brad.
Tommy.
and then we have a special guest who, based on previous conversation prior to the start of the button hitting thing, is David, who will only be here once.
I'm David.
That's
Never
David.
again.
A one-off.
Just
He's
one.
great.
He's getting a spin-off.
Probably
show.
gonna have to speak up a little bit. Just start talking a little
I'm
bit.
decent at best. Audience.
Yeah, that's good. That'll be good.
You just came from seeing Batman.
I just got out.
Right, so this podcast is going to be probably a little heavy in BVS, Batman vs. Superman, for those of you who don't understand it.
Using acronyms and shit over here.
BVS DOJ.
It has to be. It's the longest title. Which
Department
I
of
feel like
Justice? Batman Superman
Dawn of
Department?
Justice.
Oh, yeah, that's the name. Oh. So we're going to talk a lot about it. Rotten Tomatoes critics have given it a
31%.
31% rating, which I think is fucking silly.
But
I
the
saw it, I was
audience,
like, what the
though,
f-
It's up in the 90s almost. It's like
Is it?
88, I think. I saw at one point it was 91. I think it's dipped down to like 88
I
now.
was real depressed, so I just quit. I just quit looking.
Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah.
If you guys get a chance, go check out Sad Affleck. It's hilarious.
The video's pretty great.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
I didn't end up watching it, and I just feel so bad for the guy. But at the same time, like whoever put together that video, just deserves. Yeah, he deserves something.
So I think some things we talked about wanting to talk about is Batman vs Superman this episode.
Agree.
I concur.
There's a lot to unpack with that.
Daredevil up to episode 4 since David is fucking behind.
I'm behind. I
Yeah,
have a wife
I'm
and
not,
a kid, and it's
I'm
terrible.
not gonna see it, to be honest, man.
Tommy hasn't watched any of it and gives no fucks.
Dude, I don't have time, man. I'm watching everything. That's what I'm saying. I want all the amazing superhero shit. I want none of the other fucking crap. Okay? 'Cause I don't want to see. I don't want to like.
But Punisher's your favorite, and he shows up in season 2.
I know, that's why
He's
I
in
wanna
all
watch it.
13 episodes.
Tommy's problem is he wants to see the good ones, like,
And then-
but
but I
he
think-
hasn't. So he hasn't seen like
We've been pretty
Winter
lucky
Soldier,
so far,
but he
though.
saw Thor 2.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
why Tommy.
Then I'm like,
That's why Tommy
"God."
is this way, where he's like, I don't fucking care anymore.
I
And
get
the last thing on the docket is going to be, hopefully, if we have a little time, talking about the Ghostbuster trailer, which we did a little bit at. Brad can't even contain himself for
I'll
his
leave it
hatred.
that one. I don't need to be a part of that.
You want to talk about good or bad?
I could. Good? All right. Talk about that.
Is there
Slimer's in it.
Okay.
Slimer's in
Yeah.
it. That was cool.
Okay, that's about it though. Then we get to the perks.
I will.
Like
I
David
will
said
say.
before, it's a movie.
I know.
It's a trailer.
I will say one of the cool things I did like. What's her name? The heavier, like the bigger.
Melissa McCarthy.
Melissa McCarthy.
Roseanne.
I don't know. No.
Holy shit, that would be fantastic.
Reboot.
I don't know why, but I kind of had a little liking to the fucking Ghost Knuckles, dude. Like the.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I thought
No,
it was
that
kind of cool. I thought it was kind of cool.
You know, I feel like...
Shut up, Brad. Fucking don't put your hand in your heads.
Even though the trailer was pretty terrible, I feel like the movie will still be good. With
I'm
the
still gonna give it
director
a
and the
chance.
cast and the writers, there's no way it can't be decent.
As long as they
But
take
it was
out
just
some
a
of
bad trailer, though. It just
The
wasn't.
power of pain compels you.
No.
I could have done without
That joke
seeing
didn't
any
need
of
to
that.
be in the movie.
Well, a guy, I was telling them, we'll have to look this up at some point because we were supposed to show Tommy the trailer, but we started, so it's too late for
Why
that.
would you hurt Tommy anymore?
We'll have to
He looks
pause
like
it.
he's so scorned.
We'll have to pause it before we talk about that.
Well,
so we can
luckily,
see it.
it's not a superhero movie. It's Ghostbusters, so it won't contribute to my hatred of.
I hate to. You're
about to hate Ghostbusters
But there are
now.
there are Ghostbusters comics though.
Yeah, I
don't
know,
if that-
but
This doesn't make me
I would keep them
superheroes.
like
Oh,
separate.
okay. No capes. I get it.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm with your son. I could tell the cape. Damn it, Martha! Go back to the farm!
Damn.
You know what's
fucking
weird? I did not realize until that moment that Superman and Batman, their moms have the same
Do they?
names. I was
Do
like,
they?
yeah.
Yeah, that's why it's like,
Martha
why'd you
Wayne.
say it name?
No, I mean, I know in the movie they did. I'm
Yeah.
saying, like, in the
No.
comics and
Martha
stuff.
Wayne, Martha Kent.
I
It
didn't know
took this
that.
movie to point it out, which is the only good thing I can say about this movie.
Damn.
I'm just kidding.
Jesus.
I'm just kidding.
I really liked.
You've been writing
Batman's
tomato reviews?
speech
Oh,
where he's,
yeah,
like,
absolutely.
talking shit to Superman like you're not brave.
Yeah.
You know, like all this stuff.
Men
I
are
really
brave.
liked it
Yeah.
because it points out like, yeah, like say you're walking through life and you can't feel pain. Like of course you're gonna fucking, you know what I mean? You're gonna be
Talking like
It's-
on an emotional
bravery
level.
is not a thing that just because I think we all hit that one. So, like you're talking about, like just like on a level where you can't be destroyed or
Yeah.
hurt. There's
no bravery.
isn't an emotion you feel because it's not. You don't have fear
Yeah.
until Batman puts a whooping on you and almost stabs you in the face with the spear of destiny.
Spear of Destiny.
The one that killed
Is that
God.
what
you
it's
know?
called?
Christ.
Yeah.
Yes.
The,
Well,
the spear that stabbed
that
Jesus.
killed Jesus.
So
called
like it's the spear of destiny that killed God.
Yeah, I know.
Superman.
Oh,
With
oh,
the-
yeah.
okay.
With as
So
many Jesus references that were in the movie prior to this, Man of Steel, I feel like they probably called that in the script, the Spirit of Destiny.
Oh yeah,
Probably.
absolutely.
So,
Yeah,
I mean, can we talk about how awesome Ben Affleck was?
absolutely. Should we
Yeah.
start this out by maybe like, should we talk about like what our expectations were and then go, or are we just gonna? I mean, I'm fine with going random.
We usually go random. We
All
usually
right,
have
all
no.
right.
But
No flow?
Usually
I
not
wanna
on
say
a
this-
topic either. It's just us rambling.
Yeah,
for an
yeah.
hour.
I don't know
This
why
is the
you
first
wasted
time
your
I
time
announced-
listening to topics. We'll talk about
Well, just
football
some-
halfway
you
through
know. No one here likes sports except for me.
Fuck. All right.
Yeah.
End up
Me
chain
neither.
smoking outside. Conversation.
Well, you guys fucking rugby. What the fuck? More cigarette. So I don't know. My
But
expectations.
Affleck, holy shit.
I
Oh wait, now we're doing
for
expectations.
shut up. You got me on it now. God. So for like 6 months prior to this movie, I've been saying since then, and I don't know if you guys will back me up on this or not. If you ever heard me, I've been saying Ben Affleck was going to be the best Batman ever
Yeah.
for a
I
long
agree with you.
time.
I mean,
Yeah.
his movies that he's come out with lately, Gone Girl, The Town, all that shit's really
I said I
good.
didn't
Yes.
know because I haven't seen any of those.
Everyone
movies, so I was
likes
like,
to make fun of Ben Affleck and think of like early 2000s Ben Affleck.
You the
Yeah.
bomb in
And-
Phantom, bro.
yeah.
Everyone brought up Daredevil too, which me and you were talking. It's not a terrible
cool
movie.
Well, have you seen the director's cut of Daredevil?
Yeah,
it's
I love
really
it.
good.
Fucking Coolio.
Just
So-
the theatrical version's kind of wonky, and Bullseye being a biker is kind of weird.
But he did kill that dude on the plane. That was with a paperclip.
Well, yeah, I mean, like he does some,
But yeah, no.
he doesn't
Yeah,
have
no,
a
it
costume,
was-
and he
yeah.
suddenly has a black leather trench coat and
Absolutely.
scarified forehead.
I think I really.
For its time,
I
it was
kinda
really
viewed
good.
it.
I remember everyone liking it. It's one of those things where, like,
It became uncool.
I remember
like it
everybody.
over time.
Yeah, it became the Nickelback.
Because it was
comic
Affleck.
book movie.
There's
the Nickelback.
Yeah, they're comic book
Oh,
movies.
God.
I don't remember when I was a kid. I don't remember anybody hating Nickelback. I always thought they were just fine. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, oh shit! I guess I throw away my Nickelback T-shirt.
Well, it was because because Nickelback came out with like a few songs. And you're like, this song's pretty good. And then like after
It's
a
the
while,
same
you're like,
songs.
same
Every
fucking
song is the
Like,
same
what the fuck?
song.
It's like only I was in middle school. Now I'm driving and I have a beard and a wife, and they're still making the same fucking songs.
Fucking. Anyway, I kept my expectations in check for this movie because too many times I've let my expectations run wild, and then even though it was a good movie, I was disappointed.
Yeah.
So I try to keep I try to look at it as little as possible. I try to learn as little as possible. I still think they should have shown Doomsday in the trailer. I'm glad that the fanboys who were bitching about Doomsday not looking right got to see that he's actually like evolving into that
Yeah.
beast, which was cool. It was really
Absolutely.
cool.
I think they should not have shown Wonder Woman in the trailer. Either.
I don't think they should have shown
Well,
any
if you
of
take
the
out-
trailers.
because then you would be like, oh shit, you know what I mean? Like you'd be surprised.
Well, especially like the way that movie works, where she's just like in that nightgown dress
Yeah.
and like at
Yeah.
a party and
That's
just kind of this mystery woman. Like who
They don't
is
even
this?
say her name until she's trying to leave the airplane, so
Airplane.
you don't even know who the fuck she is.
yeah.
Well, I don't think. Do you guys remember the second trailer that came out? The first one where it showed that Bruce Wayne was at Ground Zero for the
Yeah.
destruction, and then it showed Wonder Woman just in 2 clips, just being hit back and then charging. That's all it should have shown, just like what Tommy says. But I feel like any trailer after that showed too much, and I don't think all the best scenes in the movies that we're going to talk about. I feel like were in the previews,
Well,
minus some of the cameos.
you know, listen, I think people blow this out of proportion constantly. Like the best was in the trailer.
Oh.
Like
Typically,
the-
I would agree with you,
the,
but
the
I
best,
really
the best of the fight scene between Batman and Superman was not in the trailer. The conversation they have.
Oh, yeah, you're
like where
right.
Superman's just like Bruce, like
You're
oh
right.
shit, he knows who Batman
But
is.
I
Holy
saw-
shit, he
I-
didn't even act like he knew this
That's
shit.
true. I saw almost every punch though from the trailer, and then
No
my
way.
biggest thing is so Doomsday. I'm not one of these people that think that he shouldn't have been in the movie. The trailer showing it, yeah, but I would have rather them have not shown the whole Batman fighting the armed guards. Like I felt like that whole fight scene was ruined. That would have been epic to see.
I don't know.
that
The
for
end of
first
that one was
time.
pretty cool.
The end of
Though.
that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, it was good to see Batman have the fighting style of like the video games,
Yeah,
where he's
the
kind of
Arkham.
rolling around and breaking arms and flinging debris at people. It was filmed really well, but I kind of got to agree where, like you said, a lot of the at least All the good action scenes were in the trailer for the most part.
Especially for that to be the
Well,
ending
can we-
scene
can we-
too. I
can we
thought that
agree
might be how the
parts
movie.
of them were in there. The full flesh out was much better in my opinion.
Oh, yeah,
like
yeah,
you don't
yeah,
get to see that whole Batman gets thrown through the wall
No,
and then
you don't.
Superman dashes in and like the smoke. I like that they kept how Bruce because you know how many people who don't really know the world well enough have been like, how the fuck can Batman
Right.
beat Superman? To me, I'm like. You
You
don't
know,
understand.
even I was saying that
He's like,
because
what? He has a suit. Like, I was like, well, the suit could be powered by kryptonite because you know it didn't show how he actually
Got kryptonite.
was doing it. All you saw was the suit that stopped him. You didn't see the kryptonite gas grenades. And
I loved how clunky he was in that suit.
Yes.
He was not graceful.
No.
He was like
he
Yeah.
built a tank.
yeah.
Tin Manning around in that thing, for lack of a better term. He was not graceful. He was not doing his flips and shit. It just made him
was just a
take a
giant
punch
suit of
and
heavy
gave him
armor.
strength.
I did like the very short, like 5 seconds where he's punching him, and he's like, effective punches, effective, and then just like, ping, and he's like, oh, fuck.
Starts,
Yeah, because it like wears off.
yeah.
Yeah, that scene was awesome because he didn't just keep going at it. He just stood there and just fucking froze, which is what you would do.
Yeah,
If
and then
you-
he just
yeah, if you're punching
fucking
a guy,
launched backwards.
Got his ass handed to him.
it
for a
quits
minute.
working.
Right. Well, and that's what I mean. That whole fight, like, okay, so he sets down this spear, and you're like, don't you
Yeah.
want to have that?
Don't
Don't
you
you want to
have-
keep that? Like, don't you? But you see that, like, between the sound device and then the machine gun fucking gauntlet.
It was a
like,
trap.
It was
Yeah.
all orchestrated. It was a dance move that went almost entirely how he planned, except for like when it wore off. He brought extra, but he didn't know how if it would last permanently, if it would be a short period of time, and. God, the emotion, like when he has that burnt, torn up fucking helmet, and he's just like has the spear, and just
That
save
was good.
Martha.
I feel like it
How the
was,
fuck did you say that? Like Ben Affleck was so good.
Yes, they did a good job of hammering in early on in the movie that he is still having nightmares about his parents.
He's got PTSD
So that's the one
about
thing.
it really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that would make him.
They're actually
stop.
making that toy PTSD Batman.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
It's just Bruce Wayne crying in his
I'll
bed.
buy it.
With
Doesn't he-
crying
doesn't-
action, just pull the string.
Where he
in the
sits
back.
up real fast in a cold sweat.
Just you hit a button and it shines a little light of just two ethereal dead parents laying on the ground.
I mean, and when they were showing like the Ground Zero stuff, and from his
That's
point
the
of view,
best way to phrase that. Is
That-
it reminded me of a lot of
It
like
did.
9/11 footage, and I thought that opening sequence was really fucking
it
powerful.
was really awesome. I love
That
how
gave
it's-
me more chills than almost anything else in that movie because
Absolutely.
it seemed to mirror a lot of 9/11.
Yeah.
And it was just cool seeing it from someone else's point of view because I watched Man of Steel last night before I went to see it, and literally like you don't realize how fast that fight scene goes, but it has to seem like it's just everything's just crazy. And I like how the camera didn't focus on Superman; it focused on Bruce. So you see Superman and Zod randomly in and out of scene, but you can't tell what it is. And for all Bruce knows, he's like, "What the fuck is that?"
Yeah.
And then I like how you can hear the punches that sound like fireworks going off. Beautiful, well done. And yeah, and I mean, this is somebody who's really unhinged and has PTSD from his parents being
Well,
killed, and then this is just
he's-
this just set him off.
Well, and people, we were talking about this too. Like everyone's mad that Batman's using guns. Well, Batman has used plenty of guns. Like, what
Every
would you say?
vehicle he has
machine
guns on it.
On the
In
Burton-
Dark Knight, he's got a gun that shoots sticky bombs at a window.
In the
His
Burton
guns
films,
shoot
he
grappling
kills people.
hooks and other shit.
And the Burton one he does. There's that scene in the warehouse where the Batmobile drops the
Yeah.
bomb and he drives out of the warehouse.
Well, there's
and
literally a
kills all
scene
those
in the
dudes.
Burton
Right,
ones where
yeah.
he takes a bad guy, he's got a bomb, puts it down the bad guy's pants, and punches him into
him.
the sewer.
Yes.
And the dude explodes. So, like, when people are like, Batman doesn't kill people, Batman doesn't use
The
guns,
thing
like,
is he
Yeah, what's
doesn't-
the
well,
one
he
where
does.
Batman kills like tons of people?
The first
It's
two
like-
Batman movies.
Yeah, I was gonna say like
He
and
just
that's
murders
the thing, too.
everyone.
Like we talked about, like he has that line.
like it.
Where like no one in Gotham City over the last 20 years has stayed good.
Yeah.
And he's clearly talking about himself in a way too,
Yeah.
which opens up that whole murdering bad guys to make more sense. Like he's been, as much as he's shaped Gotham, Gotham has shaped him back, and they've melded together. And he's just doing what has to be done, no matter what. Because that car chase scene, like the car fight,
Oh, those
he
dudes are
murders so many people.
Well, I mean, he literally-
jumps through the side of the fucking tractor trailer thing and just fucking decapitates like 3 guys. They had to have lost something.
He literally blows a guy who's wearing a flamethrower up.
yeah.
That dude's dead as fuck.
I did love that line because he said, "Don't move because I'll, kill her." And then he says, "I believe you," which I think in his mind justifies like,
Yeah.
"I'll kill it." Yeah.
That's fine.
Speaking of the car
It makes
chase,
it
that's
easier.
another thing
Oh,
I
yeah.
wish that the trailers didn't show. Because imagine if you didn't know Superman was just going to be there and the Batmobile just bounces off of it.
Yeah, see that.
That would've been
and I
epic.
will say, like,
But that was still
Actually, I
It's-
didn't know that. So, I can tell you my reaction to that. I was like, oh shit, because I didn't see it.
Oh, really?
I only saw like one trailer, and it was like half of it. I didn't. You know what I mean? I didn't like go into it before I saw it.
well,
so-
see, and it's not their fault. It's not the people who make movies.
No,
fault.
absolutely not.
It's the
It's the
fans'
marketing.
fault. No, it's the fans'
Oh,
fault.
for watching it.
We have to have so much to even go see a movie anymore that they have to do stuff like put way more than they need to for a
little
fucking
bit.
It's a
trailer.
2-minute synopsis of the movie.
Right,
Yeah.
and they don't need that. I want some just like highlights, the quick little things like,
Like what
ooh.
The Force Awakens did. But to be fair, though, this movie was scheduled a year ago, and I got pushed back a whole year, I think, because they're fitting in all like the Dawn of Justice side of the movie in. So, but the movie was already announced. People were still hyped for it. I feel like they had to keep it in the conscious mind, which they did a good job of. Like, this movie was always in like the
Well,
front page of news for like 2
and
years.
they were
I mean,
talking.
part of it is they were gonna make it just a straight Superman
Superman
sequel,
movie.
but Superman didn't do too great.
No.
So then they were like,
It did, but the reception.
the
it
it made its money back,
Yeah.
but I mean that's like Spider-Man 2.
Spider-Man
It
2
made its money back, but they canned all that
I
shit.
thought was the best Spider-Man.
Ew.
Yeah, ugh.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Are you talking
thanks for
about
joining
which
us
two?
tonight.
Which two?
The Amazing
The
Spider-Man.
Amazing
2.
Spider-Man.
Oh, I was talking about the
With,
Toby
Electro.
ones.
Yeah,
I'm talking
Toby
about
one's
Doc
good.
Ock.
That's
Like,
good,
dude,
yeah.
that scene where he's
No,
on the fucking
yeah.
train car
Yeah.
and it's like ripping his
Absolutely.
shit, and then the people just carry him in.
But
Oh my god, I was so moved.
They didn't think Superman just making another Superman movie would be viable. So
right,
they were like,
because I'd be seeing it. But
they'd already announced it,
Yeah.
but then they're like, can we like shove Batman in here somewhere?
yeah, there was.
And then it became like a Batman versus.
It did seem a
movie.
little like thrown together. I will
I
say
felt like
that.
I watched a couple separate movies joined
Yes,
into
well,
one.
there's
Yeah.
4 major storylines. You have Lex Luthor,
Remember I told you that
Wonder
earlier. I was
Woman,
like, I think
Batman, and
this is what it
Superman,
should
and Lois Lane.
Yeah.
So you have these 5 arcs.
Well, with
kind
Lois
of like,
Lane, I feel like
Lois Lane out of that shit. I
She's the
don't care.
key.
I don't care.
Lois is the key.
Yeah,
Who was
fuck
that
that
guy?
scene.
that's
Yeah,
some
who was
injustice.
that
That's
guy?
the
Who was that?
Flash.
Is it? That's what I said.
I didn't think that
Flash.
looked like the
It
Flash.
didn't look like the Flash
It
at all.
like
looked-
the
okay,
Flash.
so
But he
it
has
looked
the
like he was
goggles and his
wearing-
hair was
He
straight
was wearing
back.
armor, but it looks like the. I mean, I can just tell because that's the actor who plays him.
Was it?
David's
I couldn't
all
tell
about
his
that.
face.
Well, and he
I
was
was
like,
confused as shit.
He's like, I'm too early. Like, what didn't he say that?
Yeah.
Because he like could see on his look on his
Right,
face, like
and-
you don't.
and
If we
fucking
jump
the
into
Flash-
this scene, I have so much to talk about this scene.
Well, and the Flash is
If
like
we're
one
gonna-
of the few people who easily just bridges through time.
Yeah.
He's the only one that is going to be introduced that can do that.
Yeah, and,
He
and-
said
yeah.
he said it was too early because Bruce Wayne didn't know what the fuck he was talking about, right?
Right, because the Justice League hasn't even been formed
Yeah.
yet.
No.
And so that's why I'm interested to see in the next movie, like when Batman meets the Flash for the first time, if he's going to recognize him.
Yeah. I mean, I sure shit didn't recognize him.
I didn't
but-
either.
Well, I wasn't even like ready for it. Like I was watching that other dream, and it kicked out, and
Yeah.
this crazy thing happened. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I'm like, oh, and then he wakes up again. I'm like, oh, what the fuck just happened? Like Lois is the key. What? That's like all I got from it. Like
Which-
Lois is
that's
the key.
a cool like. If you guys ever play the DC game,
Yeah, it's Injustice.
That's
Is
that's
what
what
I
it seemed
felt
like
like they were
to me. Yeah,
alluding to. Lois Lane dies, Superman goes evil, works for Darkseid is what it seemed like they were trying
absolutely.
to
Yeah, because those are
allude to.
definitely parademons.
Well, yeah,
Oh,
that,
yeah,
and they
that's
straight up
like
had the,
all of
the
Batman's
horseshoe symbol
nightmares.
that-
I feel sorry for anybody who doesn't know DC Comics because, like, my wife was like, "What is
What?
like?" Because like it just cuts to it.
Yeah.
and she's like,
Yeah, I
"You
didn't
guys know
really-
Nightmare?" And then there's demons. She's like, "What are those flying guys?" Batman has a machine gun. Superman's burning people to death. Flash just
Yeah.
pops in.
I actually didn't know what that was either. Now that I mentioned, I was like,
Well,
what
I mean,
the fuck are these guys?
they're all Darkseid's villains, and they've got
Yeah.
the symbol that Darkseid
So-
has burned
Gotcha.
to the ground.
For just cutting to stuff like that, I can kind of see why the critics and some other people thought the movie. Because like the main thing is, I heard this movie has real bad pacing and editing issues. I agree.
For the first half, because it's like trying to watch Pulp Fiction for the first time. You're
Absolutely.
trying to like, wait, what's important? Wait, I thought John Travolta was dead.
It's
I don't.
it's more like watching 3 or 4 Game of Thrones episodes.
Right, all at
thrown
one
in,
time.
'cause
Yeah.
and like in Game of Thrones, it could be focusing on us, and then it would just focus on the fucking refrigerator for like a couple hours, and then what would you forgotten about?
Right.
I mean, honestly, they could have cut a lot of the Lois Lane storyline out, and
Yeah.
Not
everything
if
still
she's
would
the
have been fine.
key.
Well, no, you can't because it doesn't affect this fucking movie.
Yeah. They
Her
never call
little
back
like,
to it.
I'm a detective and Lex Luthor's selling arms or whatever
I
the
didn't
bad
like that kind
guys.
of the story though. I like that.
I mean,
part.
I liked it, but like, if
It
we're
really
talking
could
about
have been-
shit that we can get rid of,
Yeah.
it was that. Like,
I feel like you could have gotten rid of her going and like saving Bruce and Batman and her trying to like get the spear back because It's like we showed her.
There was just a lot,
And show
like-
her go and like how'd she get back there? Did she ever leave? I don't know.
She never left.
So I don't know.
I mean,
it
like,
was a little bit, yeah. It was a little extra that didn't really need to be there for sure.
well, the thing is that they're trying to make it as much a Batman movie and keep all the Batman stuff as a Superman movie to keep all the Superman stuff. And like, honestly, as soon as Superman's mom showed up on screen, that's when I went to go take a piss because I don't care about that, and it's not going to be
Really?
that. I mean, her the farmhouse. I don't care about that. Like the scene with Kevin Costner, you could have gotten rid of that.
Absolutely.
I mean, I
what a
like seeing
missed
Kevin Costner,
opportunity.
but like,
My heart broke.
there
about
goes
that.
like 4 minutes of the movie that you could have done without.
Well, I agree with you on the Kevin Costner, but not the Martha Kent stuff. I thought that what she said to him had weight, and like it just. I mean, but that was one of the things I really liked about the first movie was all like the stuff between his two fathers and his mom.
Yeah.
But the Kevin Costner thing, what a waste! They got him back, and that didn't
How much
push
did he
along the
fucking earn for
story.
that 5 minutes?
I mean, but that didn't push along the story. Like
Not
if
as
they would have,
much as Harrison Ford in Star Wars.
I don't know. Didn't you feel
He
like?
was in that longer though.
Didn't you
but
feel
he
like
has
that?
like he has like 3% residual on everything for that movie forever,
Forever?
He's fine. He's set.
and he doesn't have to do it anymore.
Except before that,
Yeah, he's good.
Now he's gonna do Indy 5, which is gonna be interesting, man.
No, I don't even.
As
After
long
the
as
glass
Lucas
skull
keeps his
thing,
fat fuck fingers out of it, he might be okay.
They're not gonna, which I feel bad for him too, because they're like, hey, we're doing another Indiana Jones. We just thought we'd let you know.
hey, indeed, looking pretty nice.
Stay away from me.
Oh, that's crazy. But yeah, I just felt like the Kevin Costner scene could have been cut because it was wasted.
Yeah.
If you get like, because like I said,
well, I was
love-
like, what the
I love
fuck
those
is going
scenes.
on? Like at first, like I saw this, like, is that Batman? Is he like already know where like
Yeah.
Superman goes and hangs out? Like he's already that fucking smart. He's just up there to fuck with him. Like what? It was like, oh, Kevin. Oh, Batman's like fucking losing his mind. Cool,
Yeah.
awesome, fantastic.
So,
that's
like, I don't
that's what
have-
we need. We need a god who's fucking delusional.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Because Batman was already having all those fucking crazy nightmares.
Right.
I wouldn't mind him.
I
having
think that's the
visions
sole
of his
purpose
dad.
of that. Is that they were trying to put more like common ground for Bruce and Clark to stand on.
Yeah.
I just
And
thought the
think
dialogue
that's-
could have been better. They didn't talk about anything. I
Wait,
couldn't
what
What was
say-
he doing?
I
What was he
could-
doing with the rocks? He was just picking them up and setting them down.
I just
I
saw
hope my
it.
ghost version does something more important. Jesus.
He built a little rock pile with some trash
It
sticking
was kind of
out
nice
it.
when they said that they both, missed each other. But besides that, that whole conversation, like, it could have just been that. He'd been like, son, miss ya. And then it cut to something else.
Hey, stop fucking around and just kill the bat. Miss you. Miss you two pops. High five. Done.
Quit going into foreign countries and fucking shit up, Superman.
I know a lot of people complained about Doomsday, but honestly, I feel like Doomsday is kind of one of the more boring Superman villains.
Absolutely. I
His
never
motivation is kill Superman, and that's about it. And like,
Was
he
that-
talks in the comics, but it doesn't matter that he doesn't talk in the movie because you
It's
don't
on
need him to.
Rumble.
Was him getting more powerful as he got attacked? Is that like true,
No, he was
true
just
to
kind
what
of
he's
always
supposed
just
to
a
be?
big
No,
rock
they,
monster
they
man guy.
essentially, apparently
maybe.
Lex Luthor is a Super Saiyan, right? And then he mixed him with a Superman guy. And so now he's a Super Saiyan. As he took more damage, he got stronger and stronger, started glowing.
I was gonna say.
His hair grew longer, but instead of hair, it was spikes.
Well, I wasn't
Super
like
Saiyan,
a,
Super
I
Saiyan
wasn't like
Doomsday.
a super. I'm not like a Superman like lore expert, but I was like, I don't remember
All you need to
this
know
ever
is
happening.
Superman kills Doomsday kills Superman. That's all you need to
Yeah.
know.
He's got the giant rock growths. It doesn't happen like over the course of him getting beaten where they grow. I mean,
Right,
that
he
was,
normally just already has.
that was cool for
Yeah,
flavor.
I know.
I
I've
guess.
seen him.
But-
I remember seeing him in like the animated stuff. But I was like, I don't remember him ever being like Hulkish, where like he gets stronger.
No, he's not like
the more
he's not like Hulk rage monster.
No.
He's just.
I think they
a
did that
monster who
because
is angry.
they wanted to do. I think this is the whole reason they did that.
He also didn't shoot like pulse beams.
Right.
Speaking of which, did
EMP
Superman
beams.
get more powerful from the nuke? Because like,
No, he died.
No,
Until
he
the sun
almost
came
died when
around.
the sun.
Yeah.
That whole scene could have been. I felt like that was a scene for scene beat that happened when he fought the giant spider in the Man of Steel movie.
Well, I think a lot of what happened could have been.
Well, see,
You're talking
I was
about-
so
yeah.
happy. I
About him
was
just
so
sitting up there.
I was
Yeah.
so happy for the space launch. I love that. I love that in the animation. You know, like that's when he dies in the animation. He plummets. He doesn't just go up. He launches back into Earth and just fucking obliterates Doomsday. Crawls out bloody as shit, looking at Lois Lane. He's like, "Are they safe?" And she's like, "Yeah, you saved him." He's like, "Good." And he just collapses and dies. and that's where you turn the movie off. Don't finish it because the next 30 minutes is fucking horrible.
It's
Much
Is
better
this-
used
what
to
movie is this? Missed?
and animated.
The Death of
I
Superman.
wouldn't say it's horrible.
I think it's called The Death of
It
Superman.
definitely doesn't
If
live
he would
up
have just
to that.
left him dead, it would have been so much better. I don't need to see an empty coffin as he like flies off into the sunset and then fucks around with himself.
But you can't leave him dead.
He's like, I'll save the Earth again. Masturbation time. Bah, 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 bah.
Oh, speaking of leaving him dead, like, what was the point of having that long, drawn-out funeral just to have Superman sort of pop up right when the credits hit?
Just a little
He's
like
dead for like 15
the
minutes.
Earth.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Because that's what Bruce needed to build the Justice League.
It
Superman-
motivated Bruce, and
go
it
talk to
got
Lex
people
Luthor.
to, I guess, accept. Because
Something.
it's polarizing because people are like,
dogs.
they hate Superman. We're like, literally half the country seems to like hate Superman. Whereas typically Superman is just recognized as the good guy and the hero. And don't get me wrong, it's interesting where people are afraid and don't like Superman.
yeah.
It definitely brings a new take on it and makes you think a little bit more of how real people would treat that situation.
Well-
But I mean, you didn't see people like at the end of the movie. Everyone kind of came to recognize him as a hero and accept him.
Well,
so
here's-
that way, when he comes back, we
so-
can get rid of the whole like drama. We all hate him bullshit.
I kind of like that, though. That's
No,
real.
I liked it too.
Here's
Yeah.
here's what I think they did.
but we don't need 8 more movies of that.
In the two movies with the new Superman, they've done two things. What is everyone's number one hatred of Superman? He's too fucking powerful. It's silly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So what do you have in the first movie? He's fighting people that are just like him that whoop the piss out of him.
Absolutely.
You see him get his ass beat, and then he has to kill Zod. Very powerful moment. Great fucking film. Then the second one, he gets his ass beat by a mortal who cuts his face. So all they've done in the two
Superman's
movies.
just trying to get his help, too. He's like,
Yeah.
Bruce, listen.
Bruce, listen, we gotta talk for a minute. Fuck you, Superman! Like, it's true. Bruce Wayne is just like, I'm not fucking talking to you.
Bruce is,
Fuck you.
Bruce is like, yeah,
Sound
you were
machine.
fucking talking this shit when you wrecked my car.
Right, right.
You know,
That's
what
a
you did to my
billion-
insurance premiums.
You know what's fucked up though is whenever they first meet Superman's like it's like the bad is dead, bury him or whatever, and he's like consider this mercy, and then like flies away. Like what the fuck are you talking about, man? Batman's not doing anything different than you are. You
Batman's
son of
been
a
doing
bitch.
it longer.
What
Like,
that was missing.
what are you
'cause-
talking
Hold on,
about?
real quick. Let me finish my thought here. So I think that's why they had to get his ass beat so much in those two movies, especially by someone like him and then a mortal.
Yeah.
Because it takes away that like he's too powerful thing. It's clearly shown that he's gotten destroyed twice now, and the only reason he survived one is because his girlfriend had to help him out, and then he finally just, the only reason he won in the first one is because the general took the girl fucking superhero or supervillain into the fucking
She was badass. Into the Phantom Zone.
Phantom
Yeah,
Zone. Thank you.
Phantom
I was
Zone.
like blanking.
I did like how they showed that, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you see it go, it's cool.
That was cool. Which another
Well,
thing,
if-
if you
apparently
haven't
if you
seen Man
look-
of Steel, you're fucked. Like
if
you have
you-
no idea what's going on.
If you look at that first, apparently a lot of the angles that you see, they show the exact same angles. From the Man of Steel to Bruce's version, and it's really kind of cool.
Someone put
they
together,
play
like, a
it side by
video,
side,
yeah, the side
and
by
like
side.
it's really cool how they did there.
Which was beautiful. I love how when Bruce is talking on the phone with whoever the hell Jack is,
Yeah.
and you just see like how fucking desperate and like how crazy, like dramatic and fucking terrifying it is when the building's just being collapsed, and you're like inside the building on like another floor, you see lasers just shooting through it. You're like, he just starts praying. He's like, I'm dead.
Yeah.
That's horrifying.
Oh, it was so dark, dude. It was.
The whole movie could have been that.
Here's the thing.
With the
I
flash
think
camera.
that's why people don't like it though, is because it is really super fucking dark,
Oh,
and
absolutely.
it is not fun.
They've been conditioned to expect
Look,
jokes all the
but
time.
that's why
like
I
this
like it,
movie.
though.
That's why I like it.
Yeah.
It is different. I like.
I
the
like
Marvel
this
movies.
movie, but this is not fun. It in fact is at times kind of fucking depressing.
Not
That's
for
why
kids.
I like it.
Yeah,
I want
I
something.
agree.
I don't want like
Yeah.
I'm a fucking jokester.
Like-
I'm like punching people in the fucking
This is
face.
It's not
Like,
necessarily
I don't
for
like jokes.
children.
No, there was a kid next to me, and he looked so bored. And then
Yeah.
like the expression when Superman died, I'm like, why did you bring your kid to this movie?
Well, because they don't know.
How
Because
was
they're
it?
expecting another Marvel
They've
movie.
seen no, because Batman hasn't been for kids since Batman Begins. Any like 9-year-old
Agreed,
kid's
but
not
people
going to really
still do
but
this
people
shit, and they
do
still
it.
make Batman toys, and kids still
They're not-
eat it
but-
all up.
but
kids
the
are in
average,
Deadpool
like-
and kids are in fucking.
But the
Kick-Ass.
average
Parents
50-year-old
just don't
person
care.
with
Yeah.
kids that's not into like comics
Yeah.
doesn't fucking discern. They don't even know Marvel versus DC. So
They
they're like,
don't,
it's just
yeah.
superheroes.
I feel
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun. We're gonna watch Batman. Batman
Not even
doesn't.
the animated
Batman
movies are
doesn't
for
do a
kids
whole lot of Batmaning in this movie.
Not really.
The first time you see Batman
There's a lot of Bruce
Batmaning,
Wayne-ing.
he is in the goddamn jungle trucker desert costume with a gun and a trench coat.
Jungle
it's not
Trucker
even.
Desert.
It's not even Batman.
It's called
It's like
It's called Nightmare
Nightmare
Batman.
Batman. Yeah. But, you know, you get him in, like, the Goofy costume in the thing that's not even happening. That's the first time you see Batman in anything that resembles the Batman costume, besides the flash of him on the ceiling and then parkouring out of a room.
That was, that kind of reminded me
You
of
saw
the
that
intro
for
to
3
Matrix.
seconds, but, I mean,
That's
you
why
don't even
but
see him
that's
Batman a whole lot
I
in this
did.
movie.
Point. That's why I like it, because it's so... Because it deals with
It's
like the real
real.
issues
It's
of
a little bit more
superheroes.
mature.
Instead of just Captain America and Iron Man fucking, we work together, but we don't like each other because you're a fucking
I want to
square.
punch you with your perfect teeth.
Yeah, like,
It's like that would never be like. That's why when you said, I guess you're speculating that when he comes back to life in Justice League, I assume that there's not going to be these real world issues of people not wanting him to do.
Well, people will
what he
be
does.
happy when
No,
he comes
because-
back. They're gonna
Happy,
be.
but
Because
yeah.
he sacrificed himself to
sacrificed-
save.
Yeah.
He's
everyone.
also more
But I feel like that
Jesus-like
question's
now.
always going to be there, though. As long as Superman's
Right.
around, they're always going to be like, what?
Well, yeah,
what
because
should he
that's
do,
where
what
Lex
can't he do?
Luthor comes from. That's his whole like thing. So you're gonna have that.
Well,
but
Lex Luthor and
I feel like
Batman
it's
are
gonna be a
like
little
on the
smaller.
same page for the first half of that movie.
Yeah.
Like Superman's a threat. Fuck Superman. Let's murder him. I'm surprised there wasn't a scene of like them like high fiving somewhere. Like I got the kryptonite. Yeah.
If
high
only
five.
Batman knew Lex Luthor was trying to do the same,
Same
thing,
thing.
and
Right.
using
Well,
Batman.
he did because he stole his
Kryptonite.
He stole his kryptonite and left his little calling card.
but pretty sure that Lex Luthor was just doing it just because he wanted to be more powerful.
Powerful.
Or whatever.
You know
I
what?
think it was a
Batman-
jealousy thing.
Batman
It was
wanted
a
to do
super
it,
jealousy.
keep him in
It
check.
was definitely a like I can be the smartest, richest billionaire
You could tell-
genius, but I'm not God.
You could tell he got such a high out of having Superman bow before him and having
Yeah.
him like.
Well, and everyone was so questioning like that scene. Like, why is Superman bowing to Lex?
Yeah.
And how they did it was so great.
Yeah, expectations
Pictures of your
going
mama, pictures of your
in.
mama.
I had a complete different story about Lex. I thought that he was going to be pitting Batman against Superman, and I thought since it showed a bunch of scenes of Lex and Holly Hunter, the senator,
Yeah.
I thought that he was going to like somehow like they were going to be like, okay, like now you answer to Lex. I didn't expect him to go the more I guess cartoonish route of just like, oh no, I got your mom.
Well, I liked
Did you see him?
It was
killing-
good, though.
I was surprised they
Well,
killed Marcy.
because no,
Oh yes,
it was.
yeah.
Did
What
not
a
see
waste.
that.
No, I mean that whole scene was a surprise. That was cool as shit.
Well, and that's the thing that I like. What you're just saying. He puts Superman in an impossible situation. Like he has to bring him Batman's head, and by killing the superhero of Gotham, the Dark Knight, he'll be hated forever, and it will ruin everything that Superman wants to be.
Do you think that's the
and
outcome he
wants.
expected?
That's the outcome he did expect.
I thought I
I
thought
mean-
that since Lex knew that his kryptonite was stolen, he knew that
That's
sending
kinda what I
Superman to
thought,
go
too.
there, Batman was just going to kill
I think
him.
either way,
Either
Lex
way,
could have been
he
happy.
wins.
Yeah,
he
yeah,
made
sure.
a win-win situation. He just didn't see the third option where they're
Of
like
Lois Lane
fucking
and
tag team, and they just Thanks, Lois, to save the
Yeah.
day. Lois is the key.
I liked Lois Lane a lot in the first movie because she was a reporter and figured out that Superman was Clark Kent
But she was a
off
hard
the
ass,
goddamn
though, too.
bat. Well, like
Slamming
she was
shots, not taking
smart
shit.
and not
She was
like
smart.
the old versions of Lois
Yeah.
Lane. But like I could have done with a lot less Lois Lane in this movie.
Me too. I feel like they shoehorned
The
her
bathtub scene didn't need any of that.
in. No,
no, there was some pretty
there
nice
was some
little
pretty
parts.
nice scenes.
Look, I don't care.
I'm open for the rated
Yeah.
R director's cut for that scene to be extended.
Movie's 3 hours
Movies.
long.
I
I,
know,
could
I
do without
know.
Superman plowing some chick in a bathtub. I
But
don't
hey,
need it.
we might get the
can't be
Mallrats
fly-
question finally figured out.
Absolutely. And the
Yes.
bathtub neutralizes it.
Is that how that works?
Yeah.
I think so. It has
Water.
to.
Yeah. You do it underwater, it's fine.
So does he have to like dose himself with kryptonite to get? Never mind.
he
We're not
just
going-
has to
we're not
finish
going down-
outside
Yeah,
of
yeah.
her
Yeah, no, I'm talking like if he
in
wants
a
a
different
kid.
direction.
I'm just saying if he wants a kid,
I don't know.
right? Because if he faces
Well, I mean, they
like
still
a shotgun
technically
blast
got
in the
that fucking
stomach.
cloning pool, I guess.
Yeah.
It was really
crazy.
cool that Lex got access. Like it was really clever how he got access to Zod's ship. But
Yeah.
And
I
he
feel
fed
like
that guy the
I feel like
giant
man, he should have been in there for like ever, not just like I understand all the shit in a day and I'm gonna make Doomsday in less than a day. That
Yeah.
could have been. But then again, what do you fucking cut out?
Well, that was
to
like
make
a
it seem
plan
longer?
B. Like I don't even think that was part of his
No,
plan.
no, that was
And-
well.
until like he kind of went in there while shit was like taking time, and he figures like,
Yeah.
oh, and then he realized what he could do after his plan failed.
That's why I was kind of saying it could have been almost, not 2 movies, but a movie and a half worth of stuff because it was pretty jammed.
It
together.
was, but
Yeah.
thinking about
I
it,
liked it though.
I would because like now they have everything out of the way. They do Suicide Squad, and then Justice League and Suicide Squad. I guess that makes sense why Superman's not stopping them. But
Right. Well, I think he's
But I
going to
like-
hide out for a little while.
yeah,
Yeah.
but I like how we didn't have to get a solo.
He might not
a
even
solo
be-
Man of Steel, a solo all this stuff.
Yeah.
Like now they can just move on.
I don't know how many Justice League movies they plan on making.
I think
Only
three.
two so far.
2 or 3.
But I wouldn't be surprised to not see Superman in a majority of the first one. That things get completely out of
Yeah.
hand, and he kind of shows up to kind of save the day,
That'd be
revealing
cool.
that he's still alive.
Well, do you think?
Yeah,
Lex,
we need Batman to go build the team first.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you think Lex at the end was referencing Darkseid?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm gonna ask you
With the
guys.
Yeah, I
parademon,
think
with the
so.
He's
parademons
coming
and the
in,
night,
or
because
they-
most of
out in
Bruce's
space.
nightmares were like half truths. Like,
Yeah.
this is bullshit.
So was that a
This-
nightmare, or since the Flash was involved, was he just seeing a vision of Flash fucking with time?
See, that shit's really hard because
That shit is
like,
really weird. And they
how
don't
the fuck
reference
do you
back to
think
it.
of Darkseid
Yeah, how
and
could it-
parademons
yeah, how could his dream
and
be
the
that-
Omega symbol without
Be that detailed.
knowing who
Any of that-
Darkseid,
This
His
Batman
parademons,
is so
or
smart, he
Apocalypse.
knows things he doesn't even know.
But I mean, obviously, Kryptonians knew about it because that. I mean,
Yeah.
Apparently,
Oh,
Lex tapped into it, and
Lex
that's when
knew.
he knew.
that's cool.
I mean, that's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah.
When did he have that nightmare dream?
That was like the first time you saw Batman in the Batman costume, so
Yeah.
it was like really early.
It was really early.
The lowest one are you talking about?
No.
Oh, it was after. Okay.
Yes. Because
yeah.
it went
The
Nightmare
Desert
Batman.
Jungle Trucker Batman.
It was
Oh, yeah.
after Lex's party because Batman falls asleep while trying
It was-
to get on
yeah,
the files.
yeah.
Because his back computer goes slow as
Was
fuck.
it
I guess.
before or after he got the kryptonite?
After.
Yeah, it
or
was
sorry.
before.
Before.
Yeah.
Was it?
Before. Yes.
Because I'm wondering if maybe it had something to do with the kryptonite.
No, I
No.
think because I don't think Batman. I assume that it had to have been some sort of weird Flash thing.
I think it
guess.
was
I don't
Flash
know.
fucking.
I think it was real for sure,
Right,
but,
but
it maybe just came
but
in the
Flash,
form
then
of that.
then Flash is like, "Whoop, I'm too early," but like you just fucked with all of time, like really early, bro.
Dude,
Like you
who
did
knows
you
if
fuck
we'll find this out
up?
in the
God
Flash
damn it,
movie.
Barry! You're fucking shit up all the time.
Well, that's how
Remember when
time
you went
travel
back and tried to
works.
save your mom?
Yeah.
Batman can then be like, "Hey, you need to go back and make sure you tell me that one time when I'm asleep at the computer."
Which is why when Lois was like underwater and she was in danger, I was like, this is gonna rope around. Maybe you're introduce Barry,
Missed opportunity.
or like I always like and like as corny
did
as it
anyone else
was.
think Aquaman was going to
Yeah,
show up there?
absolutely. As corny as it is,
Just because it was water.
because it was
Well,
water.
it was like
and-
this
yeah,
deep-
yeah,
it, like,
yeah. As
Even though
corny
it's like
as
in
it
an
is,
abandoned,
he
flooded
just-
building, like water, Aquaman.
I
Right,
know,
but like,
but my
well, no,
mind
but
went to
it
it, though.
obviously it looked like it obviously connected to the bay. They were right on the bay.
So yeah,
and
I agree,
this
though.
huge
Aquaman
deep, this
is
huge.
water.
I thought it would be
Wherever
such a
there's water,
coincidence that he
there's
would just
Aquaman.
fucking.
Well, I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
the,
It would've been cool if
Doomsday
he showed
That
up.
would
is
have been cool.
Doomsday is ravaging the coast. He ravages that little island. He goes and starts ravaging the coast right
He
there.
totally could've
so
showed
like
up, yeah.
Aquaman's like, what the fuck is going
could've made
on? And he
sense,
goes
yeah.
over there to show up to see what's going on.
If
Not necessarily even to
Aquaman
help,
would've
just to
shown
bring the
up,
spear.
that should not have been Batman versus Superman or whatever. It should have just been like
Justice League Part 1.
Yeah,
No, we're
'Cause,
still
like,
missing
that's
Cyborg
too
and the
many.
Flash and Alien Manhunter.
Because Cyborg, I fucking geek this.
Oh my God, dude,
love
I was
that,
like-
but I feel sorry for anybody who doesn't know that because my wife watched the animated film. She's like, I got it, but then my brother Corey was like, I guess it's Cyborg. Like
That's fine.
They
the
can
audience,
easily-
I know it's
easily
fine. I
mix
know
it
it's
up,
fine.
This is what I love about
Which
DC
I love
over
it.
Marvel.
They just don't
DC
give a-
doesn't
they're-
pander
they're
to
not
people who don't know.
spoon-feeding it
No,
to
they're
us.
not.
Like,
Yeah.
this is Cyborg. Like they have just like if it was Marvel, there'd be like a huge like Cyborg sign like
Yeah.
right next to his
Yeah.
head.
It'd be like Project
And it'd be like
Cyborg-
flashing
Cyborg.
lights.
Yeah. Season 5 or
we were
whatever.
talking on the phone this morning about Zack Snyder. He just has balls. He just fucking takes chances.
Right.
He's just like, I want Superman to snap Zod's neck, and WB's like, everyone shouldn't hate that. He's like,
I'm doing it.
You gotta
Fuck
do
you.
it.
Too bad we filmed it.
we filmed it.
And
I
it was
just
one
want
of
to
them-
throw in Aquaman. They're like, the dude everyone hates. He's like, yeah. He's
Yeah.
gonna do his own movie.
He looks awesome.
he
right?
does look fucking cool.
Oh yeah, he looks good.
The thing about Aquaman though is like
No
it's
seahorses. will
so
be-
fucking like it's like that Family Guy sketch where he's like raping the girl on
Yeah.
the beach. He's like,
No,
hey,
it's not like that at all.
glad,
Hey,
good
why don't
thing
you
you're
come
not
over
doing
here?
that over here. How you like that starfish? I threw that at you.
Well, the thing is like Aquaman gets a bad rap, but Aquaman can like beat the shit out of
Superman. He
Well,
can go.
anyone,
he can go toe to toe
anyone,
with Superman.
anyone who
Yeah.
thinks Aquaman
In the
is
water,
a pussy,
probably.
anyone
No,
who
see
just
him
even
right
on
at
land.
Superman.
But in the
really?
water, he'll fucking own your ass.
No, in
because-
the land too. Even and
That's what I said. In the
Oh,
land,
yeah.
on land, he can still even like go toe to toe with Superman. You fight underwater, you're kind of fucked.
Well, anyone who doesn't think that Aquaman should have a standalone or that he's too gay of a superhero, watch Flashpoint Paradox.
Yes.
Oh yeah, he's
Watch,
awesome in that.
watch when he's a bad guy and he floods the entirety of Europe and he goes to war with Wonder Woman because it's so great.
It's so cool.
It's so awesome.
Did you see the solo-
Oh my god, Batman is his dad, not his brew. Oh,
That's cool. Do you think they're
drunken. He has
on
a
the
flask
back.
on his utility belt and he just shoots everyone.
He's got 45s and a flask on the bat belt.
Do you think that since the Flash is fucking with time and there's obviously some injustice type world, do you think they're gonna do something like
Flashpoint
Paradox?
I would love to see it.
That would be cool.
Could you imagine?
Maybe.
That'd be boss of the wall.
It would be
insane.
like their version of Civil War.
No, I thought this was the version of Civil because honestly, if you take the
But
Batman
that- but
vs
no.
Superman trailer,
No,
Civil War
we're talking
trailer,
like,
it looks like the
teams
same
of
thing.
heroes against
Yeah,
teams of
okay, I
heroes.
gotcha.
Injustice is a Civil War.
Civil
you're
War,
right, you're right.
it would still be somewhat different because that one is still two heroes versus each other. They
Yeah.
just have armies. It's
These are two
Aquaman
different
versus
races.
Wonder Woman.
Well, it's not
Well,
even races. It's two.
Races with humans in the middle because you got the Atlanteans versus the Amazons.
Well, other
Those are
heroes.
different races, right?
No, I'm talking Injustice.
Oh, okay.
Because
I thought you were
Injustice
talking
is just
about-
like timelines of good
Yeah,
superheroes,
I gotcha.
and then they're
Right,
I thought you were
I'm
talking
saying
about
Paradox.
Flashpoint. Sorry.
Paradox,
You'd
yeah.
have Aquaman versus Wonder Woman, and then all these other people trying to like stop them
Stop
from
it.
destroying.
I don't
the
see
Earth.
that ever happening.
No.
Oh, it'd be so
I
sexy.
could
though.
see an Injustice.
Flash going
before.
through time though, like you have that
I
ability.
could see an Injustice before.
So that's
we
why
would
I'm
get a
excited for the
Flashpoint.
Aquaman movie, though, because it's just going to look beautiful underwater. And then you got the whole thing of, like, he's the
Is
king
it,
of
gonna,
Atlantis.
is it gonna live up to Entourage's Aquaman? That's my question.
I think
No,
they got
a
a
joke
better.
for one person.
I think they
fantastic.
got
I
a
was
better.
gonna say.
I think they got a better star.
Yeah, is
but
James
you don't
Cameron
have James
directing
Cameron
Aquaman?
directing it,
Because he
exactly.
directed it in Entourage,
Exactly.
a fictional show that never actually happened.
That's why it won't be
And you
as
only
good.
see one scene from the movie, and it's him running through this like fucking carnival, like on a pier, and he's just running towards the ocean as like a tidal wave's coming. And he just like dives in the
I
water.
love that they
That's
say
all you
Kevin
see.
Smith's doing the sequel. It's like, what a. Not like I love Kevin Smith, but, like, that's two different tones and directing styles going from one in the movie
For
to a
what?
sequel.
For what's the movie?
For the Aquaman sequel. In the show Entourage, they make fun that they're doing a sequel and that Kevin Smith's doing it.
I don't remember him saying Kevin Smith. Oh, that's funny.
Because he was pissed
I don't know,
about
but
it.
have you seen Red State?
Absolutely, it's amazing.
Kevin Smith and listen. When,
John Goodman made his
when Ben
comeback.
Affleck makes his standalone Batman movie and it's rated R, Kevin Smith will be on that team. I can guarantee.
You hope
it.
so? They say they don't talk anymore.
Yeah,
But now that Jennifer
he
Garner's
he
gone.
bought his old house.
Yeah.
and they got
He has
banned
his
from
own back
ordering
cave.
pizzas from the place because it was Ben Affleck's phone number. Fuck you, Ben Affleck. Oh. But yeah, I don't know. It was great. What else did we say we were going to talk about? We said the Batman vs Superman.
Yeah.
So overall, I would say 8 out of 10. I would
Oh,
give it 8 out of
rating
10.
it?
But Affleck 10 out of 10.
I rate it good. It
I
was
think
a good
you're-
movie,
I honestly-
and I liked it.
I would rate every cast member 10 out of 10. I thought the cast did
Yeah,
awesome.
everyone
The cast
did a
wasn't
good
an
job.
issue.
Cast, 10
it
out
was
of
a
10.
pacing issue for me.
Right, so 8 out of 10 because of the pacing.
I would
I-
say the same thing, but I think that you're rating Affleck too high. Partially
No.
because
Oh, no.
partially because you want to be right because you said for the past like
Okay,
2 or 3
what-
months you're like, see, I told
I'm
you.
right.
Wait, hold on. What would you give Affleck? Honestly,
Probably like an 8.
look how dark he pulled that character.
No,
the
yeah,
emotion,
it's
the
good.
raw power.
10 out of 10. I'm
He was
not doing that.
I wouldn't agree with that
Here's
because
what- hold on.
I want this movie to be 10 out of
Let me-
10.
let me
It's
ask you
not.
this.
So
I
I'm
want
not
it to be.
Hey,
I really
I'm
want
not
it to
letting
be.
my bias get
We've
in the way.
had 4 Batmans, not counting Adam West.
Why?
Okay, fine, 5
All
Batmans.
right.
5 Batman.
Ben Affleck. Can everyone agree that Ben Affleck is the best?
Absolutely.
10 out of 10.
When I
He's
count
the best Batman. You have to give him a perfect
He's-
score until someone trumps him. Then we can knock him down a peg.
I don't know, man.
Listen,
Christian
I'm
Bale's
right,
pretty
and I
good.
was right months
I
ago.
think Christian Bale is pretty
Who?
good,
You
man.
mean the Cookie Monster?
Hey,
Where's go?
I'm Bruce Wayne, and I look miserable all the time, like my cat just got drowned by my puppy.
And-
I like Christian
and
Bale.
I even
And-
know with Russian models.
And-
Don't do this now.
Yeah, don't do it because,
Don't sit here and be like because Batman versus Superman or whatever.
No, listen.
to be honest,
I've been
I'll be
saying
like Christian Bale's a piece of shit.
Christian
Fuck
Bale-
that guy.
Christian
Christian
Bale
Bale-
blew me away when I
Christian
saw
Bale-
him.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, yeah.
Well, yeah,
Yes.
because we had
but
Kilmer included before
Right,
that.
right.
Anything was better.
if we were
And I
smart-
love how he did the voice changes. That had never been done, where he just like did
Yeah.
the kind of
Yeah.
Conroy,
And then
just,
Affleck
like,
did it with his suit, and it made sense because
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
not destroying his throat cords every time he talks.
That's why.
Listen,
because it
I
escalated.
love the Dark Knight trilogy. I love it, except for the third one. The third one needed some work.
We talked
It
about
needs
that
some
for
polishing.
months.
Yeah, nah.
Fuck
Yeah.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
I love those movies. I don't love Christopher Nolan. Or
I don't love Christian Nolan after Interstellar, but that's a different.
Christian Bale is
Christian
what he
Bale.
meant. He's just bad with names.
Christian Bale was not the best Batman.
No.
I thought Keaton was better than him overall.
Not. I think Christian Bale looked better, but I think Keaton
Yes,
acted
he looked better. But the technology
Because-
kind of helped that too. I'd like to see Keaton in a modern.
George
No, because
Clooney.
Keaton would have curly hair.
Nipples on the bat suit.
Yeah.
Val Kilmer was better than George Clooney.
What
Yeah.
to do with the lisp?
Kilmer was better than. Well, no.
Oh,
This is what I came up with.
I don't know.
Kilmer
It's hard
was
because
a
he plays
better
such a cliche
Bruce Wayne
comic-
than
like
Batman. And Clooney was a better
comedy, right?
Batman than Bruce Wayne.
Look,
So
they
if
were
like,
both fucking butt
merged-
garbage, and we don't need it ever again.
If they did like the Saiyan like fusion dance, they could have made a pretty decent Batman.
I argue that Batman Forever is better than Batman Returns, though. I watched all of them recently.
I don't know.
Actually,
Batman
I
Returns.
watched
I
Batman
like
Forever
Batman
recently.
Returns.
Because Returns.
Forever's the one with
Ret-
Mr. Freeze.
No.
Forever is
Forever
Two-Face
is
and
Two-Face
Riddler.
and Riddler.
Returns is
Jim
Penguin
Carrey
and
was a
Jim
Catwoman.
Carrey
great
did good.
Riddler.
Tommy
Yeah,
Lee
the
Jo-
Riddler's the Joker.
Tommy Lee
Yeah.
Jones.
Yeah,
No,
look-
Tommy
look-
Jones was just trying to be the Joker, and that's where it fell off.
They were both trying to be Joker. It was terrible.
I agree because I've seen it recently, and I look back and I was like, dude, Jim
There's some
Carrey
cool
is Ace
Batman.
Ventura in that fucking
Yeah.
movie.
Oh yeah.
That's Ace Ventura in a goddamn
But, dude,
green suit.
We
That's
watch-
what that
and
is.
it's not to say that Batman Forever is good, but we watch Batman Returns. All like your memories.
Dude, I watched
They
it
don't-
like 2 days ago. It's still
You
a
did?
great movie.
Batman's barely in it. It's all about.
And
That's
what?
fine.
It's all about the
Returns?
Penguin.
Yeah.
And it's all about
That
Catwoman.
movie.
that fucking made up character that
That
Christopher
Shrek-
Walken
that
played.
movie-
Yeah,
Like Shrek.
man.
That movie's
Well, he was
horrible.
supposed
That
to
movie's
be
pretty bad.
Maxie Zeus.
Like they're like we want to
That
make
would've
this
been cool.
city feel really alive. It's like, well, then why are there 12
There's just
people
12
at
people in
this?
there.
This is like the
Nothing-
center, like this big festival. Why
Which
is it
one are you
like,
guys talking about?
the second
Returns.
turn?
With Danny
With
DeVito.
Catwoman.
Danny DeVito.
Look,
Oh yeah.
Michelle
Danny
Pfeiffer.
DeVito was an awesome
Penguin. He
penguin,
was a cool
and that was
penguin.
the sexiest
but
fucking
Penguin is
Catwoman
horrible.
ever.
But Penguin was horrible.
But what
And
was
Anne
his
Hathaway
what was his
is
goal
fucking
though? Was
smart.
just to become
Michelle
mayor.
Pfeiffer was pretty
So-
fucking awesome.
Yeah, but I've seen Anne Hathaway's
But like, if you pay
tits, and they're
attention
much
though,
better.
like Danny DeVito's motivation was just to become mayor, and then him and Alfred do like mixtapes in the Batcave and like spoil his-
Agreed.
and then he's
Yes.
like, and then he goes from that to I'm just gonna kill everyone's kids.
I
Like,
blame
what
all
the
that
fuck?
shit on Tim Burton though, and I think Tim
No, it
Burton's
was-
a hack, and I
It
have
was a
problems
pretty, it
with
was a
him.
pretty bad movie
It's-
with Batman stuck in
it's
it.
not a good enough villain to showcase.
It could have been
And
done right.
Catwoman was not a villain either. It just wasn't good.
Yeah, Batman was just barely
kinda
in it.
was.
Like,
There was great parts, and there was
Well, I mean,
great acting.
Batman's
in it,
barely in
but-
fucking Dark Knight Rises.
and the movie's fucking bad.
He's barely in Batman Begins.
If I were to rate all the Batman movies, I feel like it'd be Dark Knight, Begins, probably BVS, Forever,
This
Returns.
is BBS shit.
The
you guys.
Beeves.
Dude, I'm not saying the whole goddamn title ever.
Is this a thing now?
And then I forget where I'm at, but the rest are shitty. And then all the animated ones are probably way up top.
Well, yeah, I think honestly the animated ones are probably better than the live action ones at this
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
point.
Under the
Batman
radar.
vs Superman was good, man.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, my rating's probably
agree.
7.
What else did we say? 7? You got
Seven.
What you
I
say?
said 8.
8?
I'm just glad that it exists, though. As much
Yes.
shit, like as much
Yeah.
that is wrong with it.
I would.
There's more good than bad, but the stuff that's wrong with it, I'm like, I don't give a shit because I would rather everything be in this movie and me not get a solo Man of Steel to a solo Batman. Like, just combine it all and let's just get to Justice
The problem with the Avengers is like they wanted to do Avengers, but like I didn't need a fucking standalone Thor movie or a
Iron Man
standalone
2.
Hulk
Too much,
movie.
dude.
Yeah.
Iron
It's
Man
too
2 is
much.
pretty garbage. Iron Man 3
Well,
is
you-
pretty
do you
garbage.
know what-
Absolutely.
Do you know
Iron
what
Man
makes
3
I-
is fucking dog shit.
I toasted
Do you know?
With
do you
the
know what
goddamn
makes-
Pepper getting
Yeah.
superpowers, I was
Yep.
like, fuck that bitch,
Hey,
dude. This
Not
is a
only did she
dog
get
shit movie.
superpowers, but she instantly knew kung fu too.
Absolutely.
I know Kung Fu.
Yeah.
But, no, you know what makes Iron Man 2 shitty? Do you know?
The bad guy shows up and dies.
Making work was so
He
underrated.
literally shows up to die.
Close. The
He
best,
shows up, whip, whip, boom, dead.
They did the Dragon Ball
He
Z
fought the
Right.
fucking robots longer than the goddamn villain of the movie.
best fight scene? Iron Man vs. War Machine.
Yes.
At the drunken
Yeah.
party.
At the drunk
How can
party.
that be the best fight scene?
Because Whiplash apparently doesn't do shit. He just shows up and dies.
Because Mickey
Yeah,
Rourke
he's-
can barely
Guys,
fucking talk
guys,
anymore.
Coulson had some cool lines in that movie for being such a douchebag.
Dude, the goddamn whatever the fuck the guy's name was in Iron Man 3. I felt like my asshole hurt. I was raped. Like I watched that movie, I was like,
He was never in Iron Man suit. Like, it was
these
just it was
are
just the Tony Stark movie.
hours of my life I'll
Featuring
never
Iron
get back.
And then at
Pepper
the end,
Potts can suck my dick, dude, with that goddamn powers.
it's because and they did the thing that Marvel movies always do, where like she dies, but then not really, and then Nick Fury dies, and then not really, and
Which
then
is
Loki dies,
funny
and then not
because
really.
Josh Whedon is known as killing off
And then fucking
lovers.
Coulson dies, and then not really. The only one that stayed dead is Thor's
Dude,
mom.
I'm sure you guys
right?
both. I'm pretty
She
sure
might
you
come
guys,
back
far-
sometime. Yeah, she might come back.
I know you guys heard me fucking rage about Coulson being alive and refusing to
Yeah.
watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. because of it.
Oh, he's alive?
Yeah, he's like, He's the main character on Agents of Shield.
I heard it was just like really like shitty thrown into where they're just like, oh, just don't tell him about it. We just did surgery on him.
They
Right?
basically used Kree DNA to bring him back to life,
I was wrong.
and they did a whole.
It's the
We're not
one.
going to tell him about it
Yeah.
until halfway through the season
So-
when he figures it
Kind of
out.
get stuck right there.
I just think it's weird that like the Avengers haven't found out yet. Like that should be the start of Civil War. You lied to me, Fury.
I just, you know,
Who cares?
I don't.
you're a
I'm
piece of
tired of
shit.
goddamn origin stories, and they're gonna keep fucking doing it. It's cool that Black Panther's showing up just out of the blue without an explanation. Although he's gonna get an
So
origin
we're kind of
movie.
like sort of on the same page here.
Yeah, except for I actually
thought
just
the
watched
Ant-Man
this shit
origin
like
story
a,
was good,
like a
though.
fucking Alzheimer's
Can we all
patient.
say that?
I like the Ant-Man too. I don't need a standalone Ant-Man movie though.
Except for Tommy, can we all say that Winter Soldier is the best standalone Marvel?
I'm
haven't
gonna
seen it.
say it's
I
the
said
best
beside Tommy.
standalone.
It's the best
superhero
standalone
movie.
In
but-
Marvel.
It's the best
Okay, okay.
standalone superhero movie. I'll say.
Man of Steel's mine. and
Man of Steel's
then
mine too. I think
Winter
it's a
Soldier.
fucking masterpiece.
I don't know. I see.
It gets
I
better
think
every time I watch it. And Winter Soldier,
And
the
he's
fight
on
scenes
his
hold up.
and he's on his
The fight scenes
37.
The
hold
fight
up.
scenes hold up, but like some of like the character interaction, like over multiple
it's a
viewings,
really good like
kinda
political
paper thin.
espionage movie with superheroes in
which
it.
is cool. Which is what like I think DC's taking their shit way serious, and Marvel,
Oh yeah,
it's just doing
They
genre
definitely.
films.
There
What
were
else
no
did they
laughs. The only time I got to laugh in this movie was when Batman said, "Oh shit."
Yeah. Or the Martha Kent one was kind of funny.
Oh, Daredevil.
Oh yeah,
Which Tommy has nothing to say about. So we can
I
probably
haven't seen it.
Daredevil.
If
Punisher,
we were to
good.
transition
Watch
into
it.
Daredevil, I will say one of the things it does good that I felt was missing from Man of Steel, there was no Batman and Superman, like, if they would have had a couple moments, like if him ripping the fucking car doors off would have been extended and they would have had more of a dialogue, it would have,
Yeah, the dialogue's super short.
Yeah, like their fight scene would have mattered more.
Like Superman was just like a prick there. Like,
Yeah.
hey,
You're done.
you're done, bitch.
You know
and he
that-
flies off into the
yeah,
sunset.
and it's so weird because it's like,
And
that
Ben
bat
Affleck
signal-
did that bitch move where he's like, "Hey, do you bleed? What? Fuck you!" And he flies off.
Yeah.
Going to. Shit,
Yeah.
he heard me. Shit, he heard me.
It's so weird. It's like, that bat signal that we haven't shown yet? When that shines again.
Yeah, but that was fine because everyone knows that Batman.
Yeah,
has
I
a
guess
bat
they
signal.
do. I
Did
guess
you
they
need
do.
to see it before that?
It would have been cool.
It would have been cool, but you knew it existed.
It really exists, and I guess Batman has the right to. He's like, guys.
I mean, it's. Yeah,
It's
it
not.
would have been nice to see them have an interaction because I know you're going to talk about the scene where the Punisher and Daredevil
Or
are
on
on
the
the roof.
rooftop. Yeah.
That
Oh my
is fucking
God.
amazing.
That was
Talking
incredible.
about motivations because that goes from Daredevil and Punisher arguing with each other to Matt Murdock and Frank Castle arguing with each other, like
Absolutely.
as people and not just superheroes.
Can we talk? Oh, you haven't. Never mind. God.
Yeah, sorry. The scene, like the last thing that I saw was they wrapped up the Punisher story.
Yeah.
I know
Nope.
it's not being wrapped up
Nope.
because you guys are telling me no.
It only
and,
gets better.
and then Electra pops in.
Yeah.
I don't know how it can get better. That just excites me.
It does.
Can we pause this? I can go watch it all.
Go watch it. Be right
Watch it
back.
all. 13 hours.
We're gonna.
Just don't even hit pause. Just let it run in silence. Just
We'll just whistle
You
occasionally.
guys talk about sports.
But yeah, Tommy, who's got superhero exhaustion, just watch it on Netflix. Just fast forward until you see a guy with
Well,
a gun that looks angry.
okay. I'll watch it. I will
Then
watch
watch
it because
that.
you guys say it's good. I'll watch it. However,
Dude, okay. So
Well, no, here's the thing. You don't need to watch all of it. Just watch the Punisher.
I will.
Find
It's
like
not-
a YouTube like
It's not
Punisher
too
scenes cut.
superhero-y, though.
Okay,
It's a
so
dude.
let me just run this for you. All right, season 1 of Daredevil. The dude from like one of the CSI shows who plays like a weird crazy guy. He's awesome.
is it Ice T?
No,
Nope, but it's not that one. Vincent D'Onofrio.
Vincent D'Onofrio. Okay, he puts on a lot of weight for this role, and he's fucking huge. He plays Kingpin, who we saw betrayed by what's that actor's name? The black dude
Michael
from
Clark
Michael
Duncan.
Clark
Michael
Duncan.
Clark
I thought he
Duncan.
did awesome.
Which he did fine. He did great. So you hear about him for like half the season, if not more.
He only
You
shows
never
up in
see
like
him.
episode 3.
Yeah,
It's like the end
And
of
then-
episode 3. is
And
when he
then,
shows
like
up.
one of the first times you truly see him, he has a problem with this Russian dude, and he fucking gets the Russian dude like has his like fucking accountant. I don't know why his accountant was so like intertwined with everything that was going on.
Well, it was
But
also, like,
brought
his
him out
best
to this
friend
like
guy,
underneath
yeah.
this bridge, and he's like, he would like to speak to you, and the Russian dude gets out. And he's like, "You embarrassed me!" And he just starts fucking like
Which it
beating
was-
him.
it was
and the guy
super
pulls out a knife and
childish.
slices
Yeah.
his clothing. And he cuts it, and you can clearly see it just has a Kevlar suit because that's how fucking hardcore awesome Kingpin is. Like his suit looks awesome, but it's all Kevlar. And then he just fucking beats the crap out of this dude, puts his head in the door, and just starts slamming the door until you just see a body drop without a head.
Nice.
And that's the first like true like shot of the villain of this movie.
That's
Like,
my. And the reason you told me that
is because I know that you
is
would
because
like,
you know that I like super violent superheroes.
Right.
That's why I like the Punisher. That's why I like Deadpool. I did like Deadpool because he kills people.
Yeah.
I left Deadpool.
My boyfriend told me this was a superhero.
So damn, how is
but
this
that
new
guy just
Batman
shit
not a 10 out of
about
10 for you? He was violent as fuck.
It was. That's why I liked it a lot. But okay. So this sums up what would be great for me, like the perfect scene. The end of Deadpool, where he's sitting there and he has a gun to his head and he's talking like, oh, well, blah, and he just shoots him.
That was perfect. I knew
It was great, but I would prefer him to shoot him and then just be like, boom, 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 and just keep loading him into his face.
What you want is a
I would
Punisher
one-up
Daredevil
that.
movie.
I would one up that.
Or
Anytime
Punisher
that when Colossus
Deadpool.
tries to talk, he shoots and interrupts him with a gun. I was trying to say bang,
Yeah,
but I was trying to say bang. Oh, just talking Colossus?
just unload. You know what I mean? Just like, why not?
Sadly, it won't happen because of rights. But
I
we
want NC-17.
need a Punisher
That's what I
Deadpool movie.
I want NC-17.
We just need those two going
would
around
be
shooting
So,
everyone.
Hawkeye recently, or not Hawkeye, the guy that plays
And you-
Hawkeye was recently saying that he would like to have his own Netflix show.
Apparently, they talked about giving it to him.
There's a
Someone
really,
brought it up.
there's a really. I mean, they could do a Hawkeye and Punisher. Those characters, I think, would be cool together.
Fucking-
Maybe not.
So Deadpool, Punisher, right?
Yeah.
Not only can you have these two guys just murdering the fuck out of every villain,
Which
like,
is
shit,
my favorite. That would be great.
Well,
That made me
well,
so
yeah.
happy.
You
the
don't think you
Punisher's gonna
annoyed?
get fucking annoyed with
Yeah.
Deadpool, so you're gonna have scenes where they're like fighting guys, and he's like head clicks Deadpool, and Deadpool's like, oh,
Because it'll come
and
back
he's
to
like,
life.
fuck you,
Yeah.
man,
Yeah.
and they just keep fighting, and every
You
once
got
in a while
the
the
guy
Punisher just like
who
blows
makes
off
too
his
many jokes
kneecap.
paired with the guy who makes
no
no
jokes.
fucking jokes.
Yeah.
Like, you know, the scene where Daredevil keeps stopping Punisher from like.
Oh, yeah, that's
it's the
fucking
same
fantastic.
Thing. It's the same thing where he keeps stopping the Punisher from killing people. He's like fucking Boy Scout. Only instead, it's the Punisher just like kneecapping Deadpool
because he
for
can't.
being fucking insanely
And
ridiculous.
he can't do the same thing to the Punisher because he doesn't heal.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
That's the only reason I like him, because he's like just.
He's just.
Well, it's awesome
a
because, like, in the Daredevil show, like, he just gets more shitty looking as that show goes on
good.
because he doesn't heal.
He's gotten shot a
He
lot.
just
His
gets
face is always bruised
his
and
face
broken.
looks like fucking hamburger, but he's just beating the shit, scars and cuts all over
And
him.
his hand has to not have been healed yet because the last time I saw him, he was hiding razor blades in his
Yeah,
arm.
he like takes the razor blade and just pushes it
so
into his
when he
arm
gets
and
captured, he
wraps
can
it up.
take it out and escape with it.
Well, the reason
Which is fucking
I
insane.
like shit like that and not like Spider, like as much as the Tobey Maguire movies, I did like them, but Spider-Man's a good example of this where it's like boyish type of like I don't know, like little humor, and it's not that serious and it's kind of fun or
I'm
whatever.
a little burnt out on Spider-Man.
The thing that I'd like is like, okay, so having the ability to shoot lasers out of your eyes and fucking destroy a city block is not something to joke about. This shit is serious. That shit is going to fucking destroy people's lives. So like, why are you joking? You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't really make sense to me.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it.
So that's why I
Yeah.
like the new. That's why I like the new one. I was like, oh, it's fucking serious.
Well, yeah, it showed like drastic repercussions for that fight scene at the end of the last movie.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, Metropolis is destroyed, but then you get to see it from a ground level of Bruce Wayne running around the whole
Holy
time.
Shit.
Like,
That was
we're
one of my
getting your
favorite
mom.
shots.
Where is she?
That was.
When that smoke
Burned
hit,
up building.
and
She's
when
dead.
all
She's
this like
dead.
dust starts billowing through the street, and everyone is running away,
And he's running
you just
into
have
it.
Bruce just running at it. It's just like you don't have to say a fucking word.
That's
that
Batman.
guy's a
Yeah.
hero and is fearless.
Yeah.
and like you just
That's
see
something
that.
Batman would do. That's why I wish there was more stuff between like the government and the Senate and Superman, because I would like to see that explore more, because Earth was facing an extinction level threat, and Superman stopped it. But
didn't know that, though.
I mean, but now
they
do,
kind of
though.
do,
And
but
now
I
they do,
mean-
though. Which is why that statue's built. The statue was built
Mm-hmm.
because people were like, he did save the whole world, even though this is ground zero of the fucking fight. And I just would have liked to see that. I just think I just think that is so like it's just such a deep topic, and could be explored so well, and they just kind of like flew past it. And right when I thought they were getting into it, because Superman didn't say a single word in that whole Senate hearing, they blew it up. I'm like, that's cool, a cool twist, but like, couldn't they have talked a little bit first? I just want to see what was going on.
At least
Speaking
they
of
give a
the-
rebuttal.
Yeah, him being like, "Hey, I'm not
Yeah.
super bad."
You're welcome,
But-
you fucks.
Yeah, be like, "Hey,
But
you have
that-
no legs. You wouldn't be here at all." Like,
Yeah.
But when that building blew up and they just like it cuts back outside and you see all the fucking explosion and fire, and then it cuts back inside.
And
He's
Superman
standing
just
there.
He's sitting there and he just has his
What do
eyes
you do,
closed.
though? You're just
he
like,
just has his
"Fuck."
eyes closed, like son of.
The media is gonna like, dude. This is already on YouTube and it's on Periscope, and people. I know I'm to blame. Superman can't catch a break, which is why I appreciate Man of Steel so much more after watching this, because everything that Paul Kent, because a lot of people had, I guess they didn't like how down and sour Paul Kent was, saying, "Oh, maybe you should let this kid
makes
die."
a whole lot of
But
sense.
It makes a whole lot of
though.
sense because everything he said came to pass. Even there's a lot of people that say that the way he died was handled poorly, but he was just like he was
Don't
saying
show your
like,
powers.
yeah, he was saying,
They're
"Don't
not
show your power
going
no
to
matter
accept
what,
you."
even if I have to die." And everything he said came to pass. So it's like,
And what does his ungrateful piece of shit son do? Becomes fucking Superman and shows everyone what he can do. I'm glad your father died in a twister now.
yeah. I would have rather Russell Crowe come back than Kevin Costner. I feel like that would have been a better conversation.
Russell
if he's gonna
Crowe,
have vision
yeah.
for somebody.
Hope your fucking dear babies starve to death. You got to do it. I wasn't gonna say it.
I don't know what that's from, but I'm just laughing because it sounds funny.
It's a Louis C.K. bit.
Ooh.
After
I heard
the
he has a new
podcast,
show out
after the
called
podcast is
Lewis and
over,
something.
I will. Louis.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
Louis has been out for years.
No, not Louis. He has something that's just available on his website. He's shooting like a sitcom, and it's only available for people that go in and buy it. It's called Horace and Pete or something.
Oh,
He's like
I guess
doing
it-
a thing with Zach Galifianakis now.
Is that
where
what
he-
we're gonna watch after?
No, it's not that great. It's all right,
Uh,
but he executive produces it.
oh,
So,
is that
Baskets.
Baskets.
It's really weird.
So overall, watch the fucking movie.
oh, I was
Go
what I was
give
gonna
his
say
money. Oh.
real quick. We did talk about Lex Luthor being a little bit too a little bit wacky-ish,
I
like
loved it.
jokery kind of.
Yeah.
Like especially that scene. Speaking of
Isn't
the
it
room,
fucked up how we like everything is a cornerstone now to Joker? Like
Kind of.
we've said that like 8 times now with different
Yeah.
villains, and it's like,
Well,
you're not
'cause
the
he is
Joker. Don't fucking act like the Joker. You be your own fucking villain.
Yeah, I feel
Stop
like
stealing
I
shit.
feel like you can be crazy and not be but he's just so like ingrained in pop culture. Everyone's
Right, and
Yeah.
here's why he was crazy, and crazy's always going to come off Jokerish, but he was intelligent.
he was intelligent. He was
and
like
he was
math
making
equations.
chess
I didn't
moves.
get it.
He wasn't chaos. He wasn't just winging it.
yeah,
No.
that's true.
So, but go on.
Well,
sorry.
the scene with the like grandma's iced tea or whatever thing, I was like, that's the goddamn like the cards.
Yeah, that was very
Yeah,
reminiscent.
I thought he
of
fucking
Dark
poisoned
Knight.
her.
I
That was
kinda
so
thought he did, too.
because like she quit talking, and I was like, that bitch is gonna die. She better speak up and say, "Lex, kill me" before.
I think that would have played out better without the whole grandma's peach tea.
That's
whatever.
true too.
right, because he could have got kind
Lex
of.
Luthor doesn't seem like the type who would
Doesn't
like
seem
even
like
give a
he
shit
would do
about
that.
that. He's
Well,
not
he
making
wouldn't-
a point to her.
He wouldn't
didn't
take the
give a fuck
chance
about
either.
her.
Right.
Like that's a chance.
I think
of
he
being
was though.
wrong.
He's like, you told me no.
Well, I know he
And
was,
no
but
one
like
'cause he was a
tells
child
in the
Lex
grand
no.
scheme of things, he's trying to fuck with Superman. And fuck that
Yeah.
chick. He's gonna kill her. It doesn't matter. She's dead.
Did you see
Yeah.
how like his facial expressions changed so much when she told him no when they were
Yeah.
in the father's office? He had to like the Kingpin, like
Yeah.
was super childish. Like
You said no
were
to
up
me?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
said no
You
to me.
are
And then
gonna
she stopped his hand when he was galloping or whatever the fuck he was doing.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
happened.
surprised he didn't just freak out.
I thought he was gonna kill her right there.
Yeah.
Honestly, but it is interesting how he doesn't actually
see-
kill anyone.
No.
Well, he
Like-
sets off a bomb.
Well, he doesn't like stab or shoot anyone.
no,
Well, no, and Lex
And I
doesn't
mean-
really do that. He's not
Yeah.
that type of
That's
villain.
And I
kinda
mean,
cool.
but see-
he did hire
see,
all the
that's-
people in the beginning to shoot.
He's
all
more of a
those-
financier planner, not a
yeah.
trigger.
See,
That
man.
is
that's
cool.
that's what I was gonna say. Lex was enraged, and you can guarantee he wanted to kill her the second no left her.
Yeah.
mouth. But
because he thinks he's above
he
everybody.
didn't, and he didn't. Not because he didn't like. He's like, I shouldn't kill her. He didn't because I can kill her, but I can kill her in a way that's much more
It makes Superman look bad.
advantageous for me.
Yeah.
I can make it to where it looks bad on Superman, which is what I'm trying to do, and it just shows how like intelligent.
Where the Joker would have slammed her face down on a pencil.
Right,
Right.
right.
That's the before.
Yeah.
That never gets old.
That never-
Ever. I don't know.
will-
I really like Lex Luthor though. A lot of people gave him shit from what I heard.
I don't know. I
It
still
was
need
just
to
hard
think
to
on it a little
envision
bit.
for me.
It
The
was.
actor, I was like,
It wasn't the
Dude,
Lex
when
Luthor
they
we
shaved his
used
head
to.
at the end, I was like, "That's
Yeah,
Actually,
that
if
was
you-
fine.
you
That
know
was
what
good.
would have been easier for me personally is if he would have bulked up a little bit and then had his head shaved from the beginning.
Yeah.
Then I would have been a little bit more like,
Or at
this-
least lost
I
his
felt
hair
like they were
early.
kind of doing like a Lex origin. So like that's what I'm saying. Like if he does come back, I know that he's not really happy with like doing the whole Comic-Con thing, and he doesn't like nerds. But
Yeah.
thanks, Jesse. But if you could see his arc a little bit further, I think by the time
Yeah.
we got to the end, you would like love the beginning, like because you know. Maybe they changed it a little bit, like with the whole dark side thing. Maybe that was part of what they threw in there when it got delayed a year, because maybe he was just like, I don't want to do this, and so they were like, we don't have Lex anymore, so let's just make him batshit crazy. We'll throw him in a cell, and we'll just never talk about him again after Batman vs Superman.
Maybe one of my things is too that he had long hair like the Joker. I think you should probably have short
I
hair.
Like the Joker. Because he had the red hair like Gene Hackman did, but it wasn't long like the Joker.
it just I don't know. I'm still kind of I just haven't.
The Joker
really
never has
decided.
long
I
hair.
just
except
have
for in the
never-
Nolan trilogy.
I've never thought of him, and again, my knowledge of Superman is lacking.
Yeah.
But I've never thought of him as being like a crazy, like twitchy type of
No,
guy.
I see
No.
Lex as more.
I see him like
uh,
stone cold, like okay.
Well, see, that's why I just thought in that movie, okay. So in the beginning,
It
when
was
he's
another
trying to
chance
put
that
all
he
when he's
took,
trying to
though.
put all the
Yeah.
pieces in place, he's really like nervous. Like it's the first time he's done something
on
like
the
this,
scale,
on the
obviously,
scale,
yeah.
and he's super nervous about it. But by the time he stands toe to toe with Superman, all that's gone, and he's
Which
just
is crazy. I would have been
standing
scared
there.
of shit after he
with
was looking
no
at the pictures
fear.
and Superman.
And then it cuts
looked
right
up
into that
with
whole like
the red eyes.
men are brave, like you're not brave, men are brave, and you have the villain who's just a human standing toe to toe with a god.
But
hero.
even so, he wasn't just like standing there looking at him calm. He was worked up as fuck too.
So here's the deal.
he
I
wasn't
feel like,
scared, but he wasn't just like matter of factly talking
Yeah.
to him.
No, but that's because that's because he had to get out what he needed to say before Superman snapped his neck.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
So the same thing that like everybody complains about Superman about he's just too powerful. Isn't that like Lex as far as human standards in the comic? He's buff, he's rich, he's calm and collected, but he's like
super
super intelligent.
intelligent.
I
Yeah.
feel like this is more like he's super intelligent, but like he's twitchy. He says shit aloud that like only he understands, and people are like, "What are you saying?"
See, I feel like that
I
kinda-
feel like that's kind of cool.
I feel like that takes away from Lex though, because Lex
I
is
do too.
like the kind of like
Yeah,
he
he's all-
is smart. He is always kind of calm.
But he's always collected.
He is kind of like the best you could be out of the human race. I mean, like he's not like an Adonis, but he's typically portrayed as being a
He's
bigger,
like Batman without the
a
fighting
bigger
style.
buff type guy. You know, he's not like in poor shape. He's not schlubby or anything. But like, that's also part of like I see why he hates Superman so much is where he can be good shape, smart, rich, genius. You know, successful in every area, but he still
Not
is inferior to
Inferior.
Superman.
And
Which,
I'm-
when you're talking about like a guy who's a god with a guy with weird hair who's twitchy and fidgety and
Yeah, so it's kinda
scrawny,
weird.
tiny little guy, it's like, well,
That's
yeah,
why-
you can.
That's why I keep going back to his arc. I feel like his arc was meant to go over a couple movies. Like he would still be part of.
Hopefully,
Hopefully.
I don't know.
And like you could see,
But
like
they could never
like,
touch on him,
He
too,
shaved
then
his
it'd just be
head,
weird.
and
Yeah.
maybe like next time you see him around, he has no fear now. He's gotten rid of his twitch. Maybe he works with Darkseid, and Darkseid fucking.
that won't happen.
Darkseid. Well, I'm saying.
I don't know. Well, in the animated series, they did a really good explanation of him.
Well, yeah.
Darkseid the anti
Yeah.
equation.
Well, he thought it was Brainiac.
Brainiac. But I don't know. I mean, I guess with like Lex, there's also his character. You can think it's one of those things where like the more you think about it, for me, the more it makes sense. Especially if you realize that he was one that had the files on all the. So like he's been so.
Well,
you're
it seems
right.
like he's already in contact with Darkseid, doesn't it? How the fuck does he
No,
know
no,
that
no,
he's?
no.
I think he got
I
that from the
thought-
Kryptonian
from the
ship.
Kryptonian ship. From
The
Zod ship.
metahumans?
No.
No,
when
no.
he's
Darkseid
Darkseid
thing.
takes
Darkseid
me and
thing.
then fucking-
Darkseid, he got that from the Kryptonian.
Which I love
ship.
how he's gloating to Batman, and Batman has no idea what he's saying. He's like, "What do you mean?" Like, he's, yeah.
He should have branded him. He should have just punched him in the cheek and just left that bat symbol. And
I did like that touch about if like you're bat branded, that
You're
you're pretty
dead.
much dead in prison.
Yeah.
You're pretty much
Hey,
dog.
So I don't know. Yeah, but I think you're right though. Like I think he was just a businessman jealous of Superman. Started investigating all these other metahumans and just kind of went off the fucking rails.
so what about Ghostbuster trailer, guys?
Should we pause it, let Tommy watch it real quick, and then start so he can comment on how awful it is?
Well, we don't really need to say that.
It's just none of the
Oh, we're already like an hour, 8 minutes.
none of the jokes hit.
I don't know
It's
how
basically
to
all you
pause.
It's just terrible.
It
Don't
just
worry
It's
about it.
fucking
It's fine.
all of it's bad.
Just you guys talk about it for a second.
I think it will be good though. I think the movie will be good.
I'm gonna give it a chance. I'm not
Because-
gonna let my childhood be ruined because of a trailer.
No, I just have no interest in the movie.
So here's the deal. I didn't think any of Paul Feig's movies, The Heat or Spy, they were all really good movies. They all had really bad trailers too.
That's
it just didn't have Ghostbusters attached to it, so nobody really gave a shit that those trailers
Right.
were bad.
Right.
But the cast is good, and Paul Feig's good. I just don't see how it's not like a little bit funny. But whoever cut together that trailer, it's like, are those the jokes you chose, or like I just don't get it.
It'd be great if none of those were in there.
I just don't care about
They don't
it
need
at
a
all.
fucking exorcism
Well,
joke.
I never saw the
Yeah.
Ninja Turtle movies because I refused to let them ruin my childhood.
I actually really like the Ninja Turtles.
And I thought
Did
they
you
were-
see it?
I saw the
It was
new
so
one.
much better than I thought it was going to be.
Uh,
When the turtles were there, though, it needs more
uh,
turtles.
There's problems with the movie, and you can totally tell
Oh, absolutely. It's not.
what they did where the bad guy is set up to be the Shredder, but it's not.
But it's not.
And they did reshoots because Iron Man 3
People were
came
freaking
out,
out.
and people were pissed that Mandarin wasn't Mandarin, so they
I
had
felt
to
so
go.
ripped off in that.
They had to go change it because they were going to make Shredder white guy.
Yeah, they were going to make him William Fichtner.
Yeah, they were going to make it William Fichtner.
Good actor, though.
Yeah,
I
I would have been fine with him as Shredder, as opposed
people freaked out that he
to
wasn't
the
Asian,
Japanese
right?
guy that showed up for like 3 scenes and
And I didn't like
I don't
how
think he talked at
fucking
all.
April was the last one to do like the last hit too. It's like quit bringing like it's cool. It's like the same thing with the Transformers movies where like the Transformers do all the heavy lifting and then like the humans come in at the last second and they
Yeah.
actually save the day.
my problem was like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles took place in like the most coincidental universe ever, where April O'Neil, her dad, created the ooze, and she had the turtles as pets, and she gave them.
If you read the new comic book
and then
series
they-
though,
yeah,
that's how it
it's like-
goes though. So people bitching about it, it's like I actually read the like that's actually how it is in the new comic.
I will say I'm
series.
excited for the new one
But I
because
am
we get
too.
Bebop,
I really
Rocksteady.
hope-
It looks like
Krang.
it doesn't look like the fucking arcade game come to life.
Kind of, yeah.
I think so.
It's got Bebop,
Rocksteady?
Rocksteady, and Krang.
And Krang.
So yeah, I'm excited.
And Casey
Arrow,
Jones.
played by Green Arrow.
Yeah,
So yeah, I'll see
he's a
it.
good actor. I feel like he
I'll
should.
see it on Netflix like I saw the first one.
I'll download it.
Well, yeah, I didn't want to put that
I'll pay
out
for it
there.
though in case this is going up on YouTube.
Yeah,
I download it and then I pay for it twice.
Yeah, it won't be like a theater watch, but I just didn't hate the first one like I thought I was going to.
And I don't have any of this information. I'm going to kind of go rogue here. Fuck these guys. Just watched a trailer before we went and got some food for a Kickstarter film that Steve Amell and Rob Amell are trying to put together called
Code 8.
Code 8.
Oh,
And
shit.
it's about a world of superheroes that are under police watch, essentially. And there's a little 8-minute clip you can go find on YouTube, and there's information there to go fund it. Go give these guys some money. If you enjoy Arrow or just the superhero universe in general, let's get some more of it. I like the outside stuff like Watchmen and stuff like that. You get some really cool stuff. So I'm glad. I want to see a universe and. You have a guy. It's not like that one with Samuel L. Jackson, Push or Looper, or not Looper, but
Jumper.
Jumper. It's not like that where it's just like a really misconceived idea jammed into a movie that needed way more time to explain any of the shit that was going on. You have a guy who's lived and breathed almost 100 hours on film of a superhero in a universe and understands how this shit's supposed to work making this movie. So go check it out. Code 8. Steve Amell, you're awesome. I love the shit.
like Stephen Amell's ever gonna listen to
This
this
is
shit.
That'd be crazy if he did though. He'd be like, oh, right on.
this is the first time I've ever even heard of it. That sounds pretty cool.
We literally just watched it right before we went and got food. So
Does it look? I mean, because from what you
it looks great.
from what you were talking about, it sounds like it's like it sounds like it's the part of the Watchmen a little bit, where the government's like, hey, you guys have to go away.
Thud.
And go away and just go into hiding, and we gotta control you.
Come up here.
Is that Mike?
We're not talking about Superman anymore.
No, that's Thud.
Stud. It's going to be a last minute thing because he's the one who showed me that Code 8. He sent that
Okay.
to me.
We're gonna start talking about Superman now, right? Because that's here.
Right. Can you believe that space aliens? Get them.
It's all believable though because
Loki
Superman's
shows
there.
up in it.
Yeah, Loki shows up in Superman vs. Batman.
Loki sells tickets.
He's the bad guy.
Tickets in the seat.
We're talking about Code 8.
Oh, you think I sent you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Where'd you find that?
it's
On YouTube.
By the way, this is Thudson. So, in case you're wondering,
Hello.
he sat this one out because he didn't want to hear anything about Batman vs. Superman because he hasn't seen it yet. So, don't tell him that Batman gets his legs blown off by a helicopter.
What about the Hawkman cameo? That's pretty sweet.
Right, Hawkman, yeah.
And Bat.
Fucking Man Bat was the villain.
He was in the movie.
You know, actually, that would have been
He was in the movie.
out of all those fucking.
Steve Amell
nightmares
shows
he
up
had,
and just shoots a kryptonite arrow
it was in
at
the Jimmy did
Superman.
not do a Man Bat.
Has ever seen the Patton Oswalt
Was he the one that came out of
the bit where he talks about talks about X-Men and
I didn't
shit,
see that. No, I'm gonna see it
where
again.
he's like they'll take any superhero, like Jesus wanted to be a superhero, like he'd go audition for the X-Men, he'd be like, guys, I can make like 200 fish like from scratch they're like, okay, hold on a second. Remember that time we were fighting Magneto and then we need like 200 sandwiches? No, me neither. No, you're good. Go. Actually, the Avengers might take you. They got a guy with a fucking bow and arrow. They'll take anybody. Like, you can jump rope super good. Like, you can be an Avenger. Go ahead. It's got Jesus with the lunch powers.
Yeah, with all the Avengers movies, I feel like they always do like where it's like one main guy and then 1,000 like smaller, weaker dudes. So Black Widow and Hawkeye can get into some
Black
action.
Widow is
Like, but what happens with
retarded,
Thanos
dude.
though? Where they just kind of
Some
fucking
bitch.
You sexist.
with a gun. What the?
and fucking.
She's like the Punisher. She was an assassin who's murdered people.
But the Punisher should not be with the Avengers because he's like nowhere near as powerful as any of them.
If Hawkeye can be there,
in the
Hawkeye
Infinity,
shouldn't either. He's a fucking.
well,
they do a good job with the
Hey,
characters though. I like.
you don't know comic books, so it's okay. It's all right.
I'm just saying,
Like
like,
He's
Green
in-
Arrow,
the whole-
Green Arrow with a bow and arrow takes out Superman.
He's gonna do.
So, you
he's
just
gonna
need
do
to, like,
just
yeah,
like
but
what
Green
Batman
Arrow
did.
maybe is
Flip around.
They're the
cooler
same
than
things.
Hawkeye.
They did like a Green Arrow versus Hawkeye, and Hawkeye won for some reason because they're stupid.
I don't
hate
like.
them.
I don't like that you have to make your arrows into things. Like I want to do fire, so I have to have a fire arrow. I want to chew bubblegum, so I have to have a bubblegum.
So
arrow.
Iron Man's dumb. So Iron Man's stupid because he modifies his
no, 'cause
machine
Iron
to do
Man
different
has,
things.
like, he
It's the
can-
same thing. It's just a piece
Iron
of
Man can
technology.
fly. He doesn't have to shoot an arrow. And
Well, he has to make a hole bust.
Batman does that though. Use grappling hook.
but Batman has all kind of devices like Iron Man too. He doesn't have to use a bow and arrow for
Yeah, they're all
everything.
just bat themed devices.
Green
Bat
arrows,
mobile,
arrows are
bat
different
plane,
devices like the fucking
batarang.
agility belt. It's the same thing.
I know. I'm not saying Green Arrow's awesome either. I'm saying
No, I'm just saying like the arrows
Like,
are all different
yeah,
things, just like
I don't
Batman's.
like that.
So you don't like Batman.
like I have to
You
babysit.
don't like Batman.
Shoot a fucking babysitter arrow. Hit the baby. Like, you know what I mean? Everything. Can't do anything
If
without
only
it.
it's that easy.
Can't do
Have you
can't do
tried it?
anything without a special arrow.
I did like
I'll come back
how
next week if I can know
in the
it
old
worked out.
comic books, Green Arrow uses a punching.
A punching arrow.
Yeah,
When they did that in
Arrow
season
with a
3,
punching
that
glove.
was-
he's going to knock out a guy that he doesn't want to kill, and the guy's like a boxer, so he like dips down his arrow and grabs a boxing glove and shoots him in the face. But it's just one arrow, one shot, and I loved every second of it. It's
that
like
was
this
the only
little
good part
homage.
of season 3. Because
What?
everyone knows season 3 was fucking atrocious. Besides that scene.
So what's wrong with your car? You're a flat tire arrow.
That could be real. Like it injects, seals, like fills it with air, and then seals the hole.
I think this conversation should have ended.
I think this
15 minutes ago.
podcast has gone bad.
I'm just thinking now. Now I actually like him because now I'm thinking of all the cool arrows that he doesn't have.
He just fucking stays behind, and they're like, "Hey man, we need some Gatorade." And he's like,
Gatorade arrow.
Yeah.
You said
It's like a
Gatorade.
giant straw
Sorry, I
No,
had fucking.
that I shoot with
I
a
will say
bow.
this,
It's filled with
Age of
Gatorade.
Ultron, one of my favorite moments is when Quicksilver fucks with Hawkeye and runs away, and he just pulls his bow on him.
He's like,
no
"I could
one
do
would
it.
know.
No one would
I could
know."
do it. I could do it. No one would know. What happened to Quicksilver? I don't know. I saw him over there with some guys, and he's just like holding the bow the whole time. And he's just like, he just draws it and just puts it down with his head down. Like,
Yeah, he might be
Muttering to
useless,
himself.
but I liked him in the movie though.
well, and dude, he pumps up Scarlet Witch, and that whole conversation where he's like,
was cool. He's like,
"You
I'm
can
just a
stay in
guy."
here. I don't care. I'm just a guy with a bow and arrow. None of this makes any sense." He says
We're
that.
on a flying
Have you seen
city
Age of
fighting
Ultron?
a robot.
Oh, yeah, he's in this little thing, and there's robots shooting everything, and she's in there, like, kind of scared, the Scarlet Witch character is, and he's just, like, has the bow and arrow, and he's like, "Are you all right?" He's like, "You gonna come out?" Like, he's like, "What do you... I know, none of this makes sense. We're on a floating city in the sky, and I'm shooting arrows at robots." And he's just like, and you see him just, like, shooting through holes in the wall, and he's like, "But hey, like, you come out the door and fight with us, you're an Avenger right then and there. Nothing else matters." And he just kicks out the door and just starts shooting arrows. And
yeah, him calling himself out was a smart move.
At least
Yeah.
he like knows it.
Yeah.
dude, Hawkeye, I love him. I like his character a lot. His character
do.
has like the most depth.
He was
of any
kind of in the
character.
heart of
like,
Age of
He has a
Ultron.
family,
He
and like I thought he was gonna be the one that bit the bullet, and I was
Me
gonna be
too.
so sad, dude.
Me
I would have
too.
cried
I
in
was
theaters.
expecting it too.
Because you're especially in shows like The Walking Dead, they teach you that if your character gets character development, you're like, well,
They're
that
dead.
That
They're
fucker's
fucked
dead.
right off the
That
moment,
episode,
right off the bat.
it's like you're dead right then and there. You're like, finally, I've grown. Oh, I've grown an arrow in my eye.
That was the most. This episode of Walking Dead this last weekend, which I know neither of you watched the show.
Dishwashing arrow.
this girl who is like the
Just say it.
medic and
It's
she's
just
like the
like
doctor. She's like, I need to go out because I need to make sure I can survive in this world. And they take her out, and then they're treating
Sounds
her
like she gets an arrow to the eye.
like she's sitting there talking and she's like going off on them like, this was my moment, I just need blah 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 blah. And she's like, all of us have to learn how to survive. It can't just be certain people. And this arrow just goes right out her eyeball from behind.
It was fucking
and she's
cool
like,
'cause she
and
kept
that's what
trying to
I'm
finish her
trying
sentence.
to say. And when just drops to the ground. She's like, what the fuck just happened? And then Mullet bites a dude in the
You read
dick.
the comics. It was
It
the
was
same
crazy.
thing as Abraham's death. It was the same scene, but
Yeah, that's how Abraham dies in the comics.
Yeah, it's just her instead. And then Eugene bites a dude in the dick to save the
Yeah,
day.
that happens in the comics too.
yeah.
And Abraham's like, hey,
Hold on to
high
it.
five. Welcome to level 2. You're a survivor.
Oh, I love that conversation because he's like, literally, like, you fucking took a dick in your mouth, and I mean that with the utmost
Respect. Yeah, he's like, I mean that with the utmost
With
respect.
respect. Like, you're awesome. Like,
He's like, welcome to level 2. He's like, you ain't gotta welcome me. I've been here
I've
for a
been
while.
here.
Shut up, Eugene. Shut up, you mullet wearing motherfuckers. 2016.
I like that.
You got rid of the
He has a
No, he just has a ponytail.
Oh, well, it's still not. It's not
Does that get rid of the
The
mullet?
second he pulls the
technically?
If
ponytail out, it's a mullet.
You know what? I agree with you.
different.
If it's in a ponytail, it's not a
It's
mullet.
not
Right, so what happens when he goes and it
Then it's a mullet, not a
mullet.
ponytail.
So is it a mullet tail?
Mullet arrow.
Dude, that mullet arrow's been striking the South for generations.
His mullet in the ponytail is like samurai. Take the pin out, and his mullet just.
It's super effective.
So good.
Super.
All right, let's read.
Yeah.
So glue.
All right, we've gone off.
This thing has gone
So,
on for too long.
Overall, I want to say everyone gave Ben Affleck a 10 out of 10.
No, I give him an 8.
10 out
I
of
gave him a
10.
very good.
He's the best Batman by vote of the table. And we gave the overall film an 8 out of 10. Except for when Batman
Motherfucker's
lost
putting
his legs,
words in
which was
our
kind
mouth.
of fucked
Yeah,
up.
I never
yeah,
said he
yeah.
was the best Batman.
Hawkman brings it up a little
Christian Bale's
bit.
pretty good too.
But when Aquaman's riding the seahorse, it gets a little funky.
I thought it was weird that it turned into an orgy and they finished on each other's chest.
I mean, that's why it's borderline rated R, but the director's cut.
Drew that S on his chest for semen.
So, 8 out of 10 for Batman vs. Superman. Go see it. Check out Code 8. Support Steve Amell and everything that he does. Keep the superhero stuff coming, as long as it doesn't turn into
Coming.
orgies.
Okay, where's the button?
No.
Where's the button?
So, Ghostbuster is alarming, but check it out anyway, unless you're Brad.
Please quit bringing it up. We've already tried to.
I'm trying to put some like a little bit of structure to the show.
You guys are about.
Everybody, if
Sorry,
anybody's
surprise,
listening,
sorry.
everyone's already
So
tuned
this
out.
is
So it doesn't-
this is /shout. I am Dylan,
Brad.
Tommy.
and our special guest this
David.
evening, that guy, David.
And Thudson.
And
for the
Thudson
last
kind of came in at the end, but said
10
nothing.
minutes.
So, good night.
Words.
Good night, good luck.
Try to find a girl.
Godspeed.
Fucking umbrella.